Hey, alright, welcome to the Tuesday show. My name's Ultra David.
And I'm James Chan. How's everybody going?
So it's on Thursday because Tuesday was the first night of Hanukkah, and also I was pretty tired after Capcom Cup. I don't know about you, but...
What is going on with the signal over there? Oh, I think it might have been because I was turning on the TV. That's weird. Oh well, it's up. It's back.
So as a result, we didn't do it on Tuesday night. We're going to do it on Thursday night instead because there's a lot to talk about, and I definitely don't want to leave this week behind.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a pretty
Obviously,
big week.
It's a lot of cool things happening here.
Yeah, man. So
neat things
Capcom Cup results, Battle for the Stones results, a bunch of Street Fighter V Season 3 stuff to talk about. So kind of like our take on how those events went in general. Adam is out for Injustice. Tekken has less lag, etc. Well, there's a lot to talk about.
Sorry, I forgot to flesh out these titles. MenaRD, MvCI. Okay.
Well, there you go. So Capcom Cup happened.
There we go. Okay.
And we were both there, and it was cool. Before we get into the rest of it, what do you think about the sort of event as a whole?
Much better than it was last year.
No doubt about that.
Much happier. Now, the only sad part was obviously on Friday because PSX hadn't started yet, and it's just for Capcom. Like Friday, I want to address definitely like the photo that Aliun took, right, of the audience of the Battle for the Stones, and was like, there's nobody here,
right?
You know, and I think that was really unfair because PSX had not started yet. It's Friday morning. On a work day, on a work week, right? So there's no reason to take any day off except unless you're trying to go to the LCQ, right? The LCQ didn't have that many more people. It was also in the front of the place, so when you walked in, that's first what you would saw, and there was all the AE machines were over there, Battle for Stones were in the back.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of I mean, I don't want to call it a what's your agenda post here, but there is a little bit of clarification that needs to be made about that kind of situation. So.
I didn't see the picture. I don't know what you're talking about, but I certainly was at the event, and there were maximum 20 people in the audience.
Dude, if that many.
Literally at a max.
If that many.
Well, I'm not... So, the competitors themselves...
Right, okay.
In Battle for the Stones, some of which left as the day went on, and then on top of that, maybe like 15 people, 20 people.
Right. Honestly, if they just didn't have the LCQ going at the same time, all those people would have been watching Battle for the Stones. You know, that's just the thing. They were running two tournaments at the same time. So.
Yeah, I don't really believe that. I think it was... I was maybe a little bit surprised that like the very low attendance. But I expected low attendance.
Okay.
And almost nobody who was there for Marvel. They were there for Street Fighter. Right?
It's true.
Plenty of people took the day off. They did. I mean, especially
to the
end of the day, there was
simultaneously
losers finals going on in Battle for the Stones, and winners semis or what. I don't even know if it was in top 8 by that point for Street Fighter, and there were 15 people in the audience. So
exactly.
It was. Whereas for Street Fighter, there was standing room only
on Friday.
Yeah.
By the end?
By the end. There were people standing around. All the seats were taken. The difference was very stark. Okay. Very stark indeed. So, I don't want to sugarcoat that. I didn't see the picture.
Right.
But,
the picture is
it
exactly
is accurate
what you think.
that there were very few people.
Yeah, there was basically nobody there watching, unfortunately.
For sure. So, all right, anyway.
But outside of that, I think the event was, like I said, for Street Fighter side of things, I think it was really good. I was glad it was in the hotel. It wasn't at the esports arena this year.
Yes.
Look, I love the esports arena to death, but it didn't have the feel that it did this year. It didn't have that epic feel. And I was just, overall, it felt like a better event, and hopefully in the future they can keep improving things and making it bigger and bigger, like to have it be a really nice end of the year celebration kind of thing.
Yeah, but it definitely was better. There's no doubt. It was nicer. The finals day was, so last year it was they're both at PSX, but it was like in the middle of PSX last year. It was like next to other booths, This time it was in an arena, which was, right next to the PSX show. It was literally you didn't have to go outside or anything. It was right there. But it wasn't like you just were walking by and there it is.
Right.
There was a little bit of like effort on your part to seek it out. And nevertheless, there were a lot of people in the audience.
I'm going to say this much. I felt like that tournament was probably more well-attended than PSX.
There were not a ton of people there.
Dude, PSX... Okay,
was,
side topic, PSX was kind of sad.
It sucked, dude.
It actually felt like... It was so funny, too, because I was walking with Sejam, right? And we were just walking around looking at stuff. And I was like, jokingly, I was like, dude, where's all the Nintendo games? And Sejam was like, yeah, I don't know where they are. I'm sure they're around here somewhere. I'm like, dude, it's the PlayStation experience. But like you could tell, I don't know. It felt empty. It felt
it wasn't like a big announcement heavy weekend or anything, right? There weren't like a ton of new games being shown off. Like it wasn't that kind of thing. Right. So. But yeah, there weren't that many people. But there were a lot of people there for Street Fighter.
Yeah,
for
like I said,
Battle of the Stones.
I
Street
felt
Fighter
like the
Sunday.
Street Fighter audience was larger probably than everybody that was in the other room.
You might be right, dude. You might be right. Anyway, it was cool. It was cool. It was a fun event to be at, and I had a good time. All right. You want to get to the results, and then afterward we'll talk about other aspects of it.
Let's do that. So obviously 30. Well, let's talk about the last chance qualifiers first,
sure.
Because that thing was ridiculous. That thing was amazing. And 150, 60. I mean, I know there was last second signups. They got put into that death bracket, including Chris T,
right.
who got out of that. So technically, there was probably like maybe 190 some players. Maybe 200 players involved in this thing. But so there was basically 3 tournaments. There was the death bracket that all the day of signings went into, which Chris T won.
It was an actual tournament by itself.
Yes, which put him into the LCQ tournament, which was the other tournament. And so the LCQ tournament results, let me get these up for you as soon as the webpage decides to scroll, because I don't know why.
We should probably stop using that website. That's my thought.
I don't know why this is even happening. I mean, this happens on all the web pages.
Oh.
This happens on all the web pages. As soon as I run XSplit, it kills all the web pages, basically.
It's not randomly accessing enough memory.
Yeah, or something like that. Oh, come on.
Well, I got them right here. All
right.
Oh, okay, you just got them.
Well, this is the actual results. These are not the LCQ results here.
I see. Yeah, I can totally do it.
Yeah, see, you're having no problem with it.
You're right.
So it's just. For
I also have a bunch of script blockers going. So
oh, do you? Oh, okay.
I'm currently blocking 27.
Okay. Gotcha.
Anyway, so the last chance qualifier was, as everybody predicted, super stacked.
Yes.
Right. It was incredibly stacked. That by itself, honestly, was one of the harder tournaments of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, really,
I think it was probably. Yeah.
Like it was. It's not like Evo and whatever, but like it was
31 of the greatest players were not there
for sure. But it still was a really, really tough tournament. So the top 8, 7th places were SB Dominion with Ed and Commander Jesse with Dawson.
Job.
5th places were Infused Shax with Laura and Storm Kubo with Abigail. I think Shax also played Cammy. 4th, Aqua. I heard way too much F word saying that name. Aqua. Excuse me. Ibuki. Then 3rd place was Brian F. with Balrog. 2nd place was Infiltration with Manat and Jury. And then winner was AW Nemo with Urian.
Yeah, it's a tough situation because, obviously Nemo deserves it. He's great. Everyone predicted that he was going to win it. Like a lot of people picked him as the guy to make it out of the LCQ. True. He was good enough that he probably should have been in the Capcom Cup already. And if he was, what a great story it would have been for Infiltration.
That's true.
What a great story it would have been if he had come back and did it with Manat and Jury and won the LCQ. So I'm sad about that, but
for sure.
I mean, without question, even though he lost to Nemo, there's nothing in my mind that's like, man, Infiltration deserved it more than... No, not even close. Obviously, judging by what Nemo did in the tournament.
Fair enough.
So Nemo definitely, deserved that spot.
Yeah,
completely.
He did basically get sent to losers by Hochi in the LCQ, but not literally, which is all that matters.
Yeah,
it was a really good top 8. Happy for Brian F for getting 3rd place. I thought that was very cool. He, ultimately, lost, I'd say, pretty badly against Infiltration. It was 3-1.
He didn't know Menat. He didn't know. He was learning how to fight Menat on the spot.
Right.
And it was unfortunate.
You could definitely see that.
He even said that to me afterwards. He was just like, I don't know this character. So, but that's your fault. You got to study that.
Yes, so. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Nemo. And that meant that he was going to play against Punk first round. You know, everybody knew that winner of that event was going to play against Punk. But, and Punk, when he found out that Nemo won, I was sitting right behind him, he was really happy.
Yeah.
He was happy about that. It's not me. There's some sound going on.
Continue talking.
Okay, alright. So hopefully nobody's infiltrated your home. I mean, the UCTV studios.
You're talking about Nemo'd my home or infiltrated my home?
Yeah. Nemo'd. So Capcom Cup then started the next day. That meant that Punk had very little time to plan, but I mean, he had good matchups against Nemo before, and he had actually beaten Nemo most of the times that they played, although not every single time. But man, that beginning of the top 32 was already huge. You know, Punk lost to Nemo right off the top. Basically every match in the first round there was not exactly what I expected, and I think that's probably the same for James. So I'll just go through the top 16. Yeah, that sounds fine. So 13th place were AAG, Didymokov, Dalsum, and GRBT Fudo with Mika, Allegiance 801 Strider, Laura, and Razor Sien with Ibuki. 9th places RB Bonchen with Karen and Nash, Method RB Luffy with Mika. 9th place also Fox Momochi with Ken, Zeku, and Mbison, and then PG Punk with Karen. So a lot of the players in that, like 9th through 13th, were the people who were commonly picked to make grand finals.
Right. Mm-hmm.
A lot of people picked Punk, Sien, Fudo to make grand finals. Right.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They did not do so.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed pretty reasonable pick. Top 8. 7th places were Mouse, Problem X with Bison and a little bit of Birdie. Then also HXCYG BST Daigo Umehara with Guile. 5th were DNG Itabashi Zangief with Zangief. Also Udil Yukadon with Ibuki. 4th Ponos Moke with Rashid. 3rd place AW Nemo Urian. 2nd place Echo Fox Tokido with Tokido. It actually says Tokido. With Tokido.
Fair enough.
Obviously with Akuma.
Right.
Winner of it all, Rise MenaRD with Birdie.
Right. So, I mean, before we even get to the grand finals, talk about the winners and all that stuff like that, I mean, there's just a lot of significance going up to that point. You know, for example, Nemo, like I said, getting all the way to 3rd place.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just...
Yeah, from the LCQ all the way through. His weekend run was, I think if I recall correctly, it was 15-3.
There's got to be more than that, right?
No, I think that was it.
Was it? Okay.
It was either 15-3 or 16-3.
Okay.
After he finally, lost in Capcom Cup.
Right.
But even still, I mean, and the amount of people he beat, the sort of quality of the players that he beat was incredible. So he definitely had an extremely strong run. It was no doubt extremely impressive.
Yeah. Also really happy with Problem X's run. I mean, he essentially had beaten Nemo, and then Nemo just made the 3-0 comeback.
How many times did that happen this
weekend?
I
know, right? Nemo he had 17 lives this weekend, I swear.
And then the people who went 0-2, some of them I thought were huge surprises.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Haitani went 0-2.
Yeah, so for our World Wars of Capcom Cup video, we picked our, quote, stinkers who we thought would shockingly go 0-2. You had Daigo, I had Momochi. The funny part is they played each other to get in the top 8.
That's right. There you go, man. Yeah.
But Haitani, as a result, probably the one that fits into that category the most.
100%. But Smug, Oil King, Verloren, all being down there, Big Bird, they, in another time, they all could have gone super, super far.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Itazan, I was happy to see him up there because he was the only guy to make it to top 8 winners at both EVO and Capcom Cup. So that's pretty crazy consistency, right? 3 people, if I recall correctly, made it to top 8 EVO and to top 8
Capcom Cup. Itazan, Tokido, and Yukadon.
Right.
So those 3 players right there.
Right. So incredible consistency. Oh, no, did you say Moke?
No, I did not.
Was it 4 then?
Oh, it might have been 4 then. Might have been 4?
I guess it was 4. There you go.
Or unless I made a mistake.
Wait, did Yugadon make it this year?
No,
or was that last year?
Okay, Yugadon was last year. It was Moke this
there
year.
It is, yeah.
Okay. My bad.
Yeah. So pretty crazy consistency for some of those folks. We had talked about Problem X as being one of the best in the world going into this, and although he, like you said, almost beat Nemo, but for that he would have been even farther. Also, really cool to see Moke so high up for somebody who has not been playing in tournaments for very long. He's already been in Evo and Capcom Cup top 8.
And this is kind of like the first year he's really competed at this level, right?
That he's gone to tournaments.
Yeah.
You know, he played online before that, so I think that is super impressive. Punk got 9th place. He lost in the first round to Nemo, as I mentioned. And if you go back and look at Punk, when he's on video, when that's happening, there's a lot of this kind of look, and there's some deep yawns.
You were mentioning that he just didn't look like he was into it or something.
I don't know what the deal was there, but yeah, he did not look like he was engaged.
And, then after getting sent to losers, though, he just played like Punk. He was 3-0ing everybody until he ran into Moke, and then Moke was like, nope, sorry. That
was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am very, very impressed by Didymokov.
I definitely want to take the time to shout out Didymokov.
For sure.
Because what a great performance that he had. So he almost beat Nemo, didn't he?
I can look that up for you. I don't really recall. A lot of things happened this weekend.
Right. But Didymokov played super well. I think he was probably one of the main MVPs of the weekend, Wait,
no, didn't he send Nemo? No. No, it was Daigo's at Nemo losers.
Yeah.
Oh, Nemo 1-3-2. There you go.
So, again, I really...
Oh, yeah. No. Loser semis, Nemo beat Moke 3-0. That's what our website has here.
What is this?
Is this just totally inaccurate?
Maybe. I don't know.
It says 3-0, but I don't think that's how it went.
Okay.
Anyway, go on.
Yeah, but, I think Didymokov did really well.
Yes.
I definitely want to give him shout-outs, especially, obviously... MenaRD won it, but the Latin America presence just grows stronger and stronger every year. If you want to include the DR, Dominican Republic, in the Latin America region, which the Capcom Cup official designation does, right?
Yeah.
So
that's reasonable. And of course, Berlino was in there too, and he almost beat Daigo in the very first round, which really could have changed things. But yeah, Didymokov as Dalsum, he beat Kazunoko. That's super hard.
It's crazy to me, but I know Cammy doesn't beat Dalsum the same way she did in Street Fighter 4.
That's true.
But regardless of that, that's Kazunoko, and that's still Cammy versus Dalsum.
Oh, you were talking about Didymokov going 2-3 against Nemo. For some reason I thought you meant Moke.
No, I was talking about Didymokov.
Yeah, that makes way more sense. Yeah. No, he was just really impressive all around. I would love to see him more often. I think that'd be very, very clearly there's a lot of talent there. I know he's been playing for a long time, but it's the first time he's been able to travel out of the country in the way that he did.
Right.
He said it was not easy for him to do financially.
God, yeah.
So
let's hope he can get a sponsor or something like that to fly him out. But even then, it's probably still going to be a little bit difficult just because of the government countries and just how hard it is to travel. The first year. Who was it? Was it Kaomo the first one? One of the players was supposed to make it out there, or Bolino or somebody, and they couldn't make it because of that.
You are right. But I would love to see him more often, and that was very, very cool. I was also really impressed by Bonchan Nash, Karen, and his Nash, but both. It was super cool that he did as well as he did, having not really been to that many events in the last half year.
And using that character that much, right? Because he got that far, most of his points with Nash, right?
That's true. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So that was very cool. Anything else that you want to?
Yeah, I also want to shout out 801 Strider as well.
Okay,
just because again, I think he's one of the most important players in the scene right now. Just because a lot of these guys like Punk, like MenaRD, and Daigo, Itabashi. There's just this weird aura about them, like that they're just natural. They were born super good at fighting games, despite the fact that they put in a lot of work as well. But 801 Strider has often talked about that. How it's not just like he struggled in Street Fighter 4 at first. And in fact, I always say in Utah, Iperu was the #1 player from Utah for the longest time, and he was always in Renzo's shadow, and it's kind of flip-flopped a little bit. And so, you know, it's just one of those signs that, yeah, if you put in the work, you can make it there. If you dedicate it and you study and you do all what you need to do, you know. And he's put in a lot of work, and the results speak for themselves. I mean, the fact that he got all the way to top 13 is really impressive. And
he's not doing it with like a major local hotbed.
Right,
either,
exactly.
Right? There are some good players in that area, but there are not many players. And so a lot of what he does is playing online, and it's traveling to tournaments, you know, not in his local area, traveling around. And it's sort of thinking about things on his own in training mode.
Right.
So, yeah, no, I think he's a really good and impressive player.
Yeah, and then obviously we're going to talk about Mena and Tokido in just a little bit. Do you want to have anything about them to say outside that Tokido just might be the greatest fighting game player of all time?
I don't think there's doubt. I feel like he's clearly my number one. He's always been one of them. He's
always been guaranteed top 3.
Of course.
Right, yeah.
Of course. But he is still at the pinnacle, and nobody else is. All of the people you would mention as best of all time, none of them are at the pinnacle now in the way that Tokido is. So he's done it for almost 20 years, 15 years, I guess, for him. And nobody else gets to say that.
He won CVS2, which was the final game at the first Evo 2002. He won CVS2. That was the premier game at that year. Oh no, MvC2 was the premier year.
Well, he didn't play that. But
he didn't play that. But he won MvC3 at CEO against Justin Wong.
Did he?
Yeah, he beat. I still remember because I was commentating that. That was vanilla MvC3.
Yeah.
I will always remember that because I was commentating with Yipes. And when Tokido started winning, Yipes just took off the headset and left.
Really?
Yeah, like right when Tokido won, he was just like, I'm salty, and he just put down the headset and he walked away.
Wow, I don't remember that.
I was like, oh.
Dang.
I don't think you were there for that one. You might not have been at that CEO,
Okay.
because that might have been one of the first ones, but yeah.
Dang.
That was, yeah.
Well, yeah, so to me, it's no longer which of these 3 to 5 players is the best ever. It's definitely Tokido number 1. And then, like, what is the rest of the top 5?
Right, exactly.
Right? But that number 1 spot is locked up for sure.
What do you feel about this whole US is free kind of thing here? No US in top 8, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's... all right.
Okay.
What are you going to say?
Yeah. We'll hold that, right?
You know, Punk got 9th, just outside of it. You know, Dew probably would have made a pretty deep dent, but outside of those guys, I didn't really think that any Americans had a good shot at top 8.
Yeah.
Right? And that's how it is.
Yeah, it's probably true.
Yeah. You know, we said it in our little World Warriors videos, but I feel like clearly Japan is the best country now. It's definitely regained that spot. And these results are definitely part of that. You know, they definitely show that. But I would say outside of Japan, which country or maybe region, I don't know how you want to put it, is the best? Feels to me like it's open. One weekend it could be North America, another weekend it could be Europe, another weekend it could be Latin America. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's I feel like that is another question. But which one's the best? For sure, Japan.
Yeah. 6 players in top 8. So
what are you gonna do about that?
Yep. Okay. All right. So you want to talk about the crazy stuff that they announced during the course of that?
You want to just talk about
MenaRD and Tokido first?
Yeah, let's just do that.
Feel free to... Well, okay. I'm just going to start this right now. I just want to start this.
Oh, yeah, here's cookies. Forgot about this. Yeah, we have what have been called by their creator crack cookies.
Oh, they like sugar cookies, basically.
They are sugar cookies, but they're called crack cookies because they're addictive. That's the reason. Anyway, these are the rejects, so they're a little bit too crispy. Enjoy.
Okay, in a second, because I want to talk about this. The first thing I want to say, I have it written on there. MenaRD's win legit? ?
Okay.
Yes. Yes, it's legit. And if you don't think it's legit, you're full of you're dumb. Like it's just not. There is just nothing to take away from MenaRD.
No.
All right, go. I don't even want to dilly-dally around that question. There's absolutely... And keep in mind, Tokido is one of my favorite players of all time. I probably secretly in my heart would have wanted Tokido to win just because I'm such a fanboy of Tokido, but that doesn't take away anything for what MenaRD accomplished. He was a great player. He outplayed everyone. The tech that he showed me and everything like that, you know this guy has put in the work. This guy has played so strong. So
he almost beat Tokido in Winners Finals. It was 3-2. He started off really strongly. Right? Remember, he won the first game convincingly in Winners Finals. And then in the Grand Finals, he had to reset the bracket.
After being down 0-2?
You got it.
Yeah.
0-2, and I believe even the final round.
Yeah.
And he had to make the complete comeback. And that is not a situation that lends itself to random hoo-ha, lucky luck time.
Right.
That is definitely a very difficult, hard situation that only an extremely strong player can overcome. If it were some other sort of format, then still probably it's stupid to call it random or whatever.
Right.
But this format of you need to win 2 3 out of 5 sets, and you almost won the first 3 out of 5 sets, so there was 3 sets of 3 out of 5,
right.
and you almost won the first one, and you did win the next 2. It's
yeah.
It's as plain as day that the guy put in an incredible performance.
Right. I mean, a lot of people, I don't know why everyone's talking about the bullhorn all of a sudden. Like, this move is super cheap and whatever like that. Like, Balrog's turnaround punch is still a better move. Like,
Bullhorn's pretty good, but we've known that forever.
Yeah, but...
It's not news, is it?
Right.
News?
But, I mean, you can still bait it. You can punish
it. Of course.
I mean, I think the only legit thing is that bullhorn hit when meaty causes counter hit pushback, apparently.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Right. So apparently that's the only thing, but like the first time...
It doesn't get crushed.
Right.
It's not like recovery's crushed.
Right. But the first time you see that, then you adjust your meaty combo to know that that's a possibility, right? If Tokido didn't take advantage of that, that's Tokido's fault, right? I mean,
and Birdie's been out for like 2 years. Like you could play him in the beta 2 years ago. It's none of that stuff is new. If anybody did not do the work in training for Birdie coming into it, that's their bad.
Right.
Just as we were talking about with Brian F not having Menat experience.
Yeah.
If you don't have Birdie experience, and you know one of the best players in the world, one of the best birdies in the world is going to be there, that's on you. That's on you. So if you don't have some way around bullhorn is the problem.
Because you know what? Everyone says that it felt random and like you couldn't punish it. Dude, the times that he used it, like
random.
I don't know.
What does that mean?
He went to go through fireballs after Tokido did a jump attack. He let go right there just in case he tried to throw him.
He did it with the spacing to make sure it hit on reaction to the opponent doing an unsafe option.
Right.
What's random about that?
Like I said. If you play against Balrog, it's the same thing as throw invincible after 3 frames, just like Bullhorn, except it's plus on block. Like, it's... like,
well, definitely Balrog's is better.
Right, and that's the thing I don't understand. It's
the whole conversation is very silly.
Right.
I don't feel like there's any legit critique of his game. The critique in the sense of criticism, like legal, like sort of different word meaning in legal circles. It doesn't have a negative implication.
Right.
But there's no sort of review of how he played that can be random or negative. Like, it's just not possible.
Right. Don't take away MenaRD's win. You know what I mean? Don't try to discount it. And I saw a really great post about it, too, was that, you know, there was someone talking about, like, how for some reason, if it's not, like, Japan or something like that, everyone just wants to discount it. Like when Luffy won, everyone was like, oh, Rose is broken. When MenaRD wins, it's like, for some reason, there's just like this thing, there's this stigma about it. You know what I mean?
Do you really think that's some unknown reason?
Okay, probably not.
Probably not. No.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely not. There's nothing unknown about it. It's the same phenomenon for the last 20
even
years.
After the tournament was over, I went back to the green room. Tokido and MenaRD are sitting across from each other. They're just like smiling and having a good time, you know, like whatever.
There's no hate or anything.
Yeah, I know. Like I don't think there was any point where Tokido was like, I totally got like I got robbed, you know. And
there's no way.
And not only that, but when MenaRD beat Daigo, there's that quote from Mago Where Mago's like, he played that so smart. That fight is terrible, but the way he played it was so impressive. I'm so impressed. Like, Mago's spending his time talking about how great he thought MenaRD played against Daigo. I mean, come on, guys. Like, honestly, if you don't think MenaRD deserved that win, then I don't even know what to tell you at this point in time. Outside of the fact that you just don't like MenaRD or you're a big fan of Tokido. Which is a totally different story.
Sure, you can be a fan of Tokido, for sure.
I can sit here and say, I think LeBron James is overrated, but that's because I know I don't like LeBron James. Like, I know he's a super great player. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you still know that.
I'm not gonna be like he's a shitty basketball player. He's not actually. He just got lucky. Yeah. You know, like I can't actually sit here and say that, but I can say, stupid LeBron. What he whines and he fakes charges. Like I can play it, but like I know it's because I don't like him. You know what I mean? I can't legit think that he's not a strong basketball player. So
it's a very silly topic to even have to bring up. I wish that we didn't need to talk about that kind of stuff. I really wish that there was less sort of negative reactions to somebody new winning, but it's always like that. Right. It has literally always been like that. As far like I've been doing this in FGCs for 15 years, and whenever somebody new comes in and beats an established top player, 100%, it always happens. Oh, that new player's not good. He's random. You know, I can't believe he looked at. He's using some broken character or tool.
Dude,
always it has happened.
Even if it's not even brand new. Remember Vanilla Marvel at EVO after Viscount won? It was like Phoenix is broken. Phoenix, it's all Phoenix. You know?
But anybody else could use the character too. It wasn't Jay's fault. Jay figured that game out faster than everybody else.
Yeah,
props to him.
He had that Hager-Wesker mix-up, and it just worked.
Props to him for that.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. I really wish that would not continue to happen. That stupid knee-jerk reaction, but it probably always will. So in the future, if you see somebody else making that mistake, just tell them to cool it.
Right.
All right. Let's move on. Let's get out of here.
All right. So let's talk about the announcements that came out. So let's just wrap it in this idea here. Ooh, that was a nice bite.
It's a little too crispy.
Yeah, you definitely dropped some on the floor there.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. But let's just frame it in this. Capcom has not been doing anything right with any of their reveals or any of that stuff for the longest of time, and it's just been very frustrating. And it's amazing how quickly it feels like they turned a lot of that around with regards to Street Fighter 5. It's just like in a couple of videos.
Right, in the space of 10 minutes.
Yeah, they really just kind of said, whoop! And the hope from that is it really feels like now that they're listening.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, and shout out, props to them for the fake out too.
Oh yeah,
the Sakura trailer, silhouette. Because even we were sitting there, and I was like, silhouettes, and I was like, maybe that's Crackjack, but here we go again. And then Ono was like, do you want more information? And I was like, oh, is he going to give us another character?
And I definitely didn't think he was going to.
No,
I thought he was going to troll.
Right, and then like the video came out, it looked like it was the opening, so I was just like, oh, are you serious? Like Ono was going to just show us this opening. But everybody was in there, and then we found out all the characters, and it was...
And in a really good format, too. It was not just that we found out the characters. It was in a beautiful cinematic, definitely the prettiest thing that has come out of SF5, for sure. There were hints of story in it. Right, like Blanca and Sakura were hanging out together. Right, why is Chun-Li in her room, put in her makeup? Like, probably for something, probably not for no reason. Right. Ryu's he like walks into a door. Like, there's like hints of story in a way that was not existent in SF5 before. So it wasn't just the reveals.
They put Laura in the rain.
You know, we didn't know that was going to happen, right? But do you remember that they played a short snippet of that? We were doing rehearsals, and they played a short snippet of that video.
It got up to about like Colleen and Rashid, and then it stopped.
And I assumed that was it, and I didn't know what else to make of it because there was no context.
That's why when it started, I was just like, man, this is all they're going to show.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah, I was disappointed already, like when it started. And then, sure enough, there was way more to that video. So I was very... I was surprised. I'm very happily surprised, but I was surprised that they did it in that format because it's just such a departure from how other parts of SF5 have gone. It's so much prettier. There's so much more love put into it, so much more time put into it. it implies lots of other things.
Dude, and the most important thing, Capcom gets to control the information now. No more leaks. I mean, honestly, maybe it would have been hype in the past if there wasn't any leaks. But everyone knew about Monot and Abigail and Zeku. That was like the #1 leak list. And so basically last year was like, oh yeah, it is Zeku. And even though it's cool to see him, it still steals a lot of the thunder.
Yeah.
But Capcom being like, no, we're telling you who they are, and now, no, like, we'll give you the gameplay. People are going to get excited about that as well. So I just think it's just really smart. And now everyone knows what they're getting in that season pass. So season 3, like, dude, there was, I think I saw like at least 6 or 7, people in the theater swoon when Cody like came out, like. Seriously, like, I think I saw a few people faint, like, honestly. Like, but, people are excited about this now.
They're definitely excited. Yeah.
And it's just so nice.
And there are people who are going to try SF5 Season 3 who didn't play at all in Season 2. Maybe they, like, bought the original game, but they stopped. And I know that because some of them are my friends. And they've been talking about that. Like, wow, this looks like a departure. This looks like a new take on the game. I will try it again.
Dude, so many people I've seen like, man, I've lost all interest in this game, but I think I'll come back and try it now.
There you go.
Because it looks like they care, and it's just...
Yeah.
It's so
people are talking about this. It was really cool to see that video of Alex Myers and Callisto reacting to Sakura's announcement, right?
You saw my tweet about it, right, dude? It's my favorite tweet. I love this tweet. I was just like, Alex Myers looks like the dog in those videos where the serviceman comes home after 2 years.
Oh my god, that's very funny.
Like, you see him, you can just picture Alex Myers at the door going, oh my god, you hear the guy walking up.
That's what his footsteps sound like.
And then the guy opens the door and he's like, ah! That's basically what it was, dude.
For sure, yeah, that was really cool to see. They both were legit excited.
Oh, yeah,
there was no fakery about that. I talked with Callisto afterward. He was already like analyzing. It looks like her fierce is fast again. It looks like he can't we'll see. but that was very funny.
Yeah.
So that was cool. What do you think about the characters that were announced? Blanca.
I will say this. If they take the time to really redesign Blanca and make him like a little more animalistic, because like in the trailer he's
right, yeah.
Like if he's like a quick beast and they don't center his gameplay around a Blanca ball,
right.
like just get rid of the Blanca ball, because the Blanca ball has never worked as a move ever.
Yeah.
Because even if you change it to like 3-frame startup, like it would just be like, what kind of shitty Blanca ball is this? Like it just doesn't feel right to me. But if they can change Blanca, I will be happy with that, because then we can get Blanca in a form that I actually like.
Did you like ST Blanca?
I hate ST Blanca.
Do you really? Oh, I think he's very fun.
Huh. Well, okay, I like him more in ST because he was a grappler character.
Yes, he was more of a grappler.
That's what I would like to have him kind of be, not the
traditional
grappler. Right, not the traditional grappler, but maybe even give him a, I don't know, like I'm not sure how it would work, but I've always hated Blanca.
Yeah.
Like Blanca has always been like one of my least liked characters, and there's a reason why he's either super shitty or super buff. In every game that he's in, he's never in the middle. He's either he sucks or he's super good. It's because his character design overall just doesn't lend itself to being... It's either going to be too powerful or not, depending on how you make the Blanca ball. It's just all it comes down to, so...
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
So I'm not happy about Blanca, but you know what? If they change him enough, I'll accept him.
Yeah, I just, I want to see changes anyway. I don't want to see the same characters, and that's not what they've done.
Right.
Almost all of the returning characters are significantly different. Some are, Ryu's basically the same, but like
Cammy.
Cammy. Yeah. But most of the characters are different, and some are significantly different. Vega is a command motion stance switch command and grab character. It's like super different than ever before. So
that's
it's not out of the realm of
fingers crossed. That's the finger. I love what they did to Zangief and Dhalsim, for example. You know, so. Hopefully they can do something with that. If they can do that with Blanca, then I'll be okay with it.
Okay. Sagat coming back.
Sagat,
you just eat one, didn't you?
I just am really, really hoping he's a zoning fireball
Yes,
character.
that is all I care about too.
And I don't know how they're going to do it because so many people have ways to kill fireballs. But like, if there's a way to do it, that would be really sick, dude. I was having a conversation with Derek Omni yesterday. We were talking about ideas on how to like fix it, and he came up with an idea that sounds really awful on paper, but then afterwards I was like, I kind of like this, which is nerf all the V triggers a little bit, and then just start them with a full meter, just alpha 3 it. I think that would actually be kind of interesting. Actually.
It might be fun. But I don't think they're going to make any significant changes like that.
Probably not. Probably not. But Sagat, if he's not a fireball zoning character, I'll be sad.
Yes, I would definitely be sad. That's all I want as well. And I also doubt it. But we'll see. Cody coming back. This feels like it's a Cody kind of game. Like I feel like Cody would fit very well into this game. Pressure character, frame traps, right? Some mid-range options. They could bring back the dodge. That I feel like that would be cool. Kind of cool.
I was thinking V trigger activates the dodge.
Yeah. I think that'd be kind of cool, sick. Right? Yeah. So I think there's a lot of cool ideas that you could do, and
I hope they change him a lot too, because I mean he has a move that's called Criminal Upper. You know, like now he's like
a
mayor. Yeah. So I mean the tornado came out of nowhere anyway. He didn't even have a tornado in Final Fight. So where the hell did this tornado came from? He learned it in jail, I guess. So
I guess.
You know.
And then so we talked about Sakura also. In terms of how she will play, I mean, it's more or less what I expected. You know, we saw some of what she does, and that's like basically what I thought she would do. So that's cool, and I'm happy for Sakura fans. That's fine. Falca and G.
So I said this to you when they were revealed, and I was like, I'm really glad they still have some new characters.
Oh, me too.
In there, that it wasn't all returning characters. Because as much as I know Season 2 hasn't been the most popular idea, and it probably hurt that they weren't bringing back everybody's favorites and stuff like that. I love the fact that 5 of those characters were brand new. I'm so glad that we have these new characters in there. And so G and Falca, I'm actually really happy about.
Yeah, dude, I am too. I don't know, obviously none of us knows how they're going to play, but G just looks so weird. He looks so much like Abe Lincoln. He's given the little Uncle Sam.
Yeah,
It's such a weird design.
So there's 2 crazy theories about the character, right?
Okay.
The first one, which is probably the craziest theory, is that he's actually Greg from Bloody Roar.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because he looks just like him,
right?
And in one of the in Ed's story mode, one of the pictures with him and his gang has Falca in there, some weird thing with this crazy bird head thing, and a gorilla. There's a gorilla sitting there, and Greg turns into a gorilla in Bloody Roar.
Yeah.
But that's still probably the craziest theory. The second one is he's actually going to end up being Q. So he's like previous Q, and whatever, he'll get injured or whatever, and then he'll eventually become. So if he has any sort of capture and uppercut moves, then, you know.
Like he's what were the guys conjecturing? That he's like a Seth body, and there's like one for every letter, and Q was also a Seth body, like retroactively.
They ran out of numbers. They went from 12, and then they started going to letters instead.
Yeah, I don't know. He just looks kind of weird, but interestingly weird. So I'm not against it, I guess. And then Falca looks like, I don't know. I'm not super inspired by how she looks, but we'll see how she plays.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully they do something interesting with her. Who knows what the heck they're going to do with her, but we'll see.
But I do agree that I'm happy to see that there are a couple of new ones.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm probably most excited for Cody just because I just think he just looks so slick now. I mean, dude, he looks sick now.
He does look really cool, for sure. And even Blanca, in the little picture that they put up of his face, even that looks different to me than how he's appeared in the past. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think the one that I am most looking forward to, and dreading, is Sagat. That's the one I have maybe the most investment in, just because even though I'm not going to use him, I'm not going to like zone with him. It's not my kind of zoning. I want Dawson style zoning, not projectiles.
But you just want the.
But I want that character to exist.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. So that wasn't it for SF5 Season 3.
Oh yeah, there was announcements on the change on how fight money is going to work.
Oh, I haven't heard
Oh,
about it
what
yet.
were you going to talk about?
Just that it was playable there, or at least some builds was playable at
of course,
Capcom
yeah,
Cup.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we got a chance to try out a bunch of the V-triggers and some other stuff too. I didn't get a lot of time myself, but I certainly looked into the V-triggers for the characters that I am interested in. And a lot of the new ones seem interesting. I still think that it will probably be the case that most characters have a V-trigger that they use, and they don't really use the other one. Maybe some matchup choices, but probably for the most part, just you got the choice.
What do you think about changing V-triggers if you're the winner in a tournament and they change characters?
I've always been cool with that. I was cool with that in
MK for variations, or
it ended up not being viable. They're just too different. But in Third Strike, people would change supers in between, stuff like that was. We used to do that back in the arcade. So it's not something I'm opposed to. Anyway, so I tried Geefs. Geefs is an SPD. It gives him access to an SPD that does crazy good damage. And it also gives him access to comboing into his SPD, in which case the SPD does not do extra damage.
Oh, okay.
It's just like button regular damage, or maybe even less. It's very little.
Okay.
So I don't know about that. We'll see. Dawson's looks like there's going to be a lot of cool tricks. Catastrophe that you can move with your Flame and Gale. And Bison with Psycho Crusher and Command Grab. Like there's some
from
cool
Problem
ideas
X, what he talked to me about, he sounded really happy with that V trigger too.
Yes, yeah, I talked to him
really
too.
happy about that. Cammy has a real hooligan now.
Oh, that's right.
I don't think it's going to be better because I think, for example, if you combo into it, it's just not going to do as much damage. It'll be more like it has a cool mix-up in it. But the thing about it is, like, there's no way I'm not going to use it because the other one is just so goddamn boring. So,
But if you were playing in tournament competing, you think that V-Trigger 1 is better
probably better because it's just that you get a free super, free almost 2 supers every round, right? So it's such a nice thing to have. Gives you a free dive kick in, you know what I mean? Although this one, you do get access to that command dash, and it will let you combo off of it. So, for example, if you do low fierce into V-Trigger and V-Trigger 1 for max range, all you got was drill into uppercut, right? Or drill into setup. And this one, low fierce, it'll cancel into the forward dash. Because you can start it in the forward dash or the hooligan. So you can do cancel forward dash, strong fierce, back strong fierce, and roundhouse. Strong roundhouse into the, stuff like that, and then get some mix-ups off of that.
Okay.
You can combo off the hooligan throw and things like that. So, so there's some interesting
that might be cool. Fangs was definitely better than V-Trigger 1. His V-Trigger 1 wasn't changed as far as we could tell. It's still terrible. And in fact, his second V-Trigger has the same benefit of V-Trigger 1, which is you can press the button and cancel into it and combo. It's still there in exactly the same way. But on top of that, up balls are way bigger. There's a splash at the bottom that has its own hitbox. You can cancel into up ball into command dash without spending meter. It's just like way obviously the better choice.
Yeah, you have to. You pick the character. So Shoegazer's asking, do you have to choose which V-Trigger you want before the match? You basically pick the character, wait till the opponent picks the character, then you pick the V-Trigger right there.
Both of you.
So you only pick the V-Trigger after the opponent picks their character. Now, one interesting thing about Fang, though, is that someone actually pointed out there's a command list somewhere, and there's a move listed which is his V skill that has a V-Trigger 1 symbol next to it. So there might be a buffed V skill in V-Trigger 1 that we didn't know about. We didn't test that. Yeah, there could be a situation. The one major improvement to Fang, honestly, though, is every time someone took the poison, he gained a buttload of V-Trigger meter now.
I would say it's 4 V skills to build up a bar of V-Trigger. Right. It's a lot. It moves quite quickly. So, he seems like he's going to be a better character, but we'll see. I didn't really get a chance to test more than that. I heard about other things. I tested Nikali's, right? Both of his V-Triggers are the same, except for V-Trigger 1 now has this leaping move, and V-Trigger 2 has basically a very short-range Laura Fireball.
Right.
So, I think that's all that I tested. Yeah. I didn't have very much
There was
time.
a few other things that I had just heard from a lot of people, but unfortunately I don't really have the details on that.
Well, the main thing that I've heard is that is with respect to throws. So there have been sounds like some characters were changed in terms of frame data and like a little bit of like setups and stuff. Anti-air jab for Nikali apparently was worse. But the
command throws, right?
Yeah, it sounds like the biggest game-wide change is that all command grabs have more recovery, and most throws lose positioning after the throw. Regular throws.
Okay.
So both of those are nerfs to the throw, just in general, right? Which is, I guess, kind of an understandable change. People seem very hurried by SF5 mix-ups. It happens to me too, and I don't know why. I feel like the dumbest person for getting like hurried. Oh no, they're in my face. Well, all they can do is throw me. Who cares? There's no overheads. Who cares? But I feel it too. So I guess that's a reaction to sort of everybody worrying about throws so much.
The command throws are so negative now that you could backdash out of it and jump and still get a full combo on them.
Right.
So that's gonna be. I mean,
I think that sucks.
It does suck. You know what? The one thing that I will say that one of my probably bigger complaints about Street Fighter V is the universalization of a lot of things.
I'm with you.
I'm actually like Cammy's sweep has no range, right? So why not make that one less negative than other ones? Why is every sweep minus 12? You know what I mean? Every overhead is minus 3. Except for the really long ones, you know. Why does every command throw have to... Why not make some characters have better command throws?
I'm 100% with you, man. So. Well, we'll see. Nobody knows if these are the final changes or if that's the final build.
Exactly.
Impossible to say. We'll see. But I did think that was an interesting and sort of not out of the realm of possibility as a final change with respect to throws. I could totally see that happening. I haven't heard of any other seeming game-wide changes. Right, just little changes about frame data here and there. That's all I've heard.
Right.
We'll see.
Also, so this was just literally announced today, posted December 14th, is extra battle mode details and changes in earning fight money.
Okay.
So they're going to add an extra battle. So I'll just read this. This was posted by Andy Wong from Capcom. Bodied. So he says here, how does extra battle work? Every month there will be at least one crossover costume up for grabs, which can only be obtained by playing extra battle mode with fight money. Here's the flow of how to go about getting these extra costumes. Each crossover costume requires you to complete 4 challenges that take place over the span of a month, 1 challenge per week. Each time you attempt one of these challenges, you must spend 2,500 fight money. In other words, if you successfully complete each of the weekly challenges in one go, you can get that extra battle costume for 10,000 fight money. Once you complete all 4 challenges, the crossover costume of that month is yours. And then finally, these changes are time exclusive, so make sure to log in each time to complete them, especially if you have your eyes on that month's crossover costume.
Okay, interesting.
Sounds kind of cool, and especially if you actually see what the costumes look like. The costumes they're pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty awesome.
It's Rashid?
That's Rashid. And then here's Chun-Li from a Star Gladiators character.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Wow, what's going on with the knees there? Jeez.
That's just the outfit.
How the character
That's just the outfit. And then look at this. Nash is Captain Commando.
Oh, cool.
That's actually pretty cool. And there's going to be more. Those are the 3 that they've shown so far. So they're really, really cool. But the crazy thing about this is it really just doesn't feel like that there's... The way that they changed out to obtain fight money is kind of weird. Well, it says, extra battle will also offer a way to obtain fight money so you have enough to attempt each week's challenges. Every few weeks, a golden Shadowloo soldier will appear separately from the weekly crossover costume challenges, giving you an opportunity to earn a decent amount of fight money throughout 2018. Bust out your skills against these goons and replenish your fight money stash.
Okay.
Now, this is the part that seems a little contentious with people. I've seen some people upset about this. Is changing the ways to earn fight money. Beginning January 16th, modes that offered one-time finite batches of fight money will no longer do so.
Like what?
So this includes character stories, the general story, trials, survival, demonstrations. If you haven't completed these modes yet, there's still a few weeks left to do so before the changes occur in January. So basically, you won't be able to gain some free fight money by completing trials and stuff like that, which means I need to go and complete all those things to get my fight money that I want right now. If you're a new player and worried about getting enough fight money to get to the crossover costumes, you can still gain experience points from all modes except for the general story. You receive fight money each time a character gains a level, and playing through each character's story is a great way to quickly gain experience points for each character. Do this for all 28 characters, and you'll be a proud owner of at least 200,000 fight money. Combine this amount with fight money earned through online battles and recurring missions, and you have plenty of use for extra battle mode, additional characters, costumes. In other words, the problem with this, in my opinion, is that they're doing that thing again where basically you have to play online to earn some battle money. There's no like one-player way to do it anymore, outside of just this psycho soldier coming out of the blue every once in a while. Like, there's, like, not a good way to earn fight money. So, like, my brother wanted to buy the game, and he's like, oh, man, do I have to earn fight money to do all this stuff? And I was like, don't worry, just beat all these trials and do all these things, and you should be able to get some characters, but that's not going to be the case.
Didn't it say that character stories still builds it?
It says that character stories will give you experience, and characters, when you level them up, gain you fight money. So, by playing their story mode will give you some of their experience, and then you can earn money through leveling them up, but the story doesn't directly give you fight money.
I see. That seems kind of like a little hiding of the ball.
Yeah.
But how much... I don't know if you know. Is somebody constructing something?
It might be my neighbor in their garage right on the other side, like building something in his garage, to be honest with you. So
okay. It's not shots. It's all good.
Don't worry. It's not Silent Hill. There's no crazy thing going on in the background. There's no Akira Yamamoto music going on. So, but yeah. So
anyway,
that's basically
all right. So some changes to how that stuff works.
Yeah. So we'll see how that pans out. I mean, the weekly challenges thing just didn't even pan out at all. So
I found out last week how to get, when you pop up, when you sign in, and it pops up with, like, here's the whatever you got to do. I so didn't care about that I just mashed through every time. And I never knew how to actually scroll through. I just was like, why is this scrolling? Just get me out of here, get me out. I just literally just panicked out of it. Until this week, I was like, I should learn how this works. All you got to do is press down.
Yep.
But I literally hated it so much. I was just like, get me out of here.
Yeah, I just didn't.
So I don't care. But yeah, hopefully for other people who do care.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be all right.
But on top of that, is there anything else you wanted to say about Street Fighter Season 3?
Looks cool. Oh, we did see the new user interface and whatnot, the heads-up display.
Oh, yeah. In matches.
In matches.
Yeah.
It looks nicer.
Yeah, there's definitely, the whole gold theme is definitely something to do with G. It has something to do, because G is all about money. His arms were gold in the trailer and everything like that. So I think that whole aesthetic wasn't just like, all of a sudden, it's like Vegas and Street Fighter. I think it has something to do with G. I really do.
Interesting. I think it would be kind of cool if they had some way to demarcate different seasons. If, like, this one is like the gold one because G's there, whatever, and the next one is some other theme because some other character's there. That'd be kind of cool.
So, I mean,
anyway.
He might be the actual main bad guy of, like, the Street Fighter V arcade mode, who knows, or whatever, like that. So,
alrighty.
But they also had another announcement at Capcom Cup, which I am super excited about. So, I was told that they wanted to use my voice on a trailer.
Oh, man, yes.
I was told, but they wouldn't tell me what it was for.
Right.
This is honestly what they told me. They're like, it's just going to be for a collection. And the first thing I thought was, oh, cool, probably Alpha Collection. We'll probably get an Alpha Collection. And then the trailer came out, and they're giving us 12 games.
Yeah.
They're giving us Street Fighter 2, Champion Edition, Hyper Fighting, Super Turbo, Street Fighter 1, Alpha 1, Alpha 2, Alpha 3, Street Fighter 3, New Generations, Second Impact, and Third Strike.
Yeah.
They're giving us 12 games in one package.
But they left off a couple of the Street Fighter 2 games.
What, like Anniversary? Oh. I know where you're going with that. Yeah. Well, they already released that sort of for the Switch. But anyways, but 4 of those games are getting online play. This is going to be on PC. Yeah. This is going to be on all the Switch. It's going to be on the Nintendo Switch.
I'm in there for that.
Dude, so Alpha 3, which is an odd... I mean, a lot of people wish they had Alpha 2, but it's going to be Alpha 3, Super Turbo, Hyper Fighting, and Third Strike are going to have online play.
I do wish that it was Alpha 2, but at the same time, I'm already getting a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Hard to be super critical.
But the thing about it is, like, regardless of what this... Okay, two thoughts. I have 2 thoughts on this. One, I'll just say this right now. They have set themselves up. Oh, God, have they set themselves up.
Oh, yeah.
When they said Arcade Perfect Play. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Because now anything less than that will be a disappointment, right?
I hope so. I don't want it to be, or maybe I wouldn't care if it wasn't entirely arcade perfect. I don't need like handcuffs to be back, right? In World Warrior, like I don't need like the game breaking glitches can go away. That's fine. Mm-hmm. But everything else that is gameplay glitch, all that stuff needs to be there. Honda needs to have stored Ocho, and stored super. So same with Chun-Li. Q has to be throw invincible when he goes from crouching to standing. Kuma forward strong has to be unthrowable. Like there needs to be unblockables in Third Strike. Like all that stuff needs to be there.
Canceling infinite for Alpha 3. I mean, that would be the one that I wouldn't mind if they got rid of it. But yeah,
it's got to be there.
So one, they set themselves up. But 2, if they can pull this off, I think that this is going to be such an important thing because for a historic and archival purposes. If they can make it accurate and to have it all in one game like that, I think it's just... Nobody else has done anything like this. Every time they do a collection, like even Capcom themselves, Mega Man Collection was like 1 through 6, and then like 7 through 10 is on a different one, you know, whatever like that. But they put 12 freaking games on it.
They did.
They could have easily split that into 2 different games that you had to buy.
It could have been 3. It could have been Street Fighter 2 series, Alpha series, Third Strike series.
Exactly. The fact that they're putting it all on one thing is really impressive, and it to me... it's just like, as an old school fan like this, is one of the most beautiful things ever. And honestly, like, this next year, I just want to, like, spend 1 week, be like, go bust it out on, like, Fightcade or MAME or something like that, and be like, here's Street Fighter 2, let me show you the craziness in this game. And then next week, here's Champion Edition.
Oh, that would be really cool.
Hyper Fighting, and show what things changed and how they affected the scene and stuff like that.
That would be very interesting.
Really neat. I think that'd be really neat, so...
Well, that's cool.
A3 music is trash. Get out of here, Guest Parry God.
What are you talking about?
Banned.
Unbelievable.
100%.
Oh, he's doing it. He's typing in the box. /ban. Oh, yes. He's doing it.
Parry God, right? There we go. You're done. I typed the wrong name.
Oh, well, he survives.
Oh, man.
But anyway, yeah, it's a really cool announcement. Unexpected, especially it being on Switch. But awesome news.
Yeah, and I mean, just from a personal standpoint, I'm really proud that that's what my voice got put on. I was
that's
like,
very cool.
That's a cool. Like, if it was just like some random thing, I would have been like, man. But like to have it there, I thought that was really cool. So,
very, very cool.
Yeah. Okay. You want to take a break before we get to Battle for the Stones?
Sure.
Okay.
That's fine. We can talk about Marvel Infinite in general after that.
Yep, exactly. So, all right. Be right back, guys.
Hey, welcome back. Yeah, check out this cool water bottle that they gave us. So, it's PlayStation themed, but it's even further PlayStation themed. Look at that. Pretty cool.
Which part? What was the first PlayStation theme that you showed? That. Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
I just like the fact...
it's very nice quality.
And I just like when you hit the button, how the lid just kind of goes, whoop! Yeah, it's nice.
It really aerates the water, too. If you notice that, like it comes out of it really easily.
Oh, yeah.
Some water bottles, you have to kind of struggle with it, but no, this comes out great.
Yeah, you can lock
It's got a little lock here.
Yeah. It's kind of a nice water bottle, to be honest with you. Nice little thing.
Nice work. I appreciate it. So, let's talk about Battle for the Stones. Which also happened this past weekend, of course. First day of it was the same day as the Last Chance Quals, as we had mentioned previously, for Street Fighter. You know, it came in with a bunch of silly rules, and I was kind of not stoked for that. But at the same time, I thought it'd be interesting to see how it played out. What's the strategy people would use surrounding it and so forth. So, you know, it had both those sides. And of course, I sat there and watched, and whenever I was not commentating Street Fighter, I was watching Marvel.
Right. Now, I do want to answer one question in there that where is Charlie Lee asked is how did Chris G get a time stone in loser side? When we got there, we were clarified that when you beat someone, if they have 5 stones, you can only take one of them.
Yeah.
So basically, Chris G had 2 stones, and when he got beaten, they took one of them and gave him the other one. Basically.
Which he carried through losers.
Exactly.
So there were a bunch of things that were changed, either, or else we hadn't understood properly. You know, who knows, I guess. But that was not how we understood it, right? And then furthermore, on the actual day of, a bunch of things were done differently. Like, remember when I asked whether Time Stone Person could prevent Space Stone Person from switching, even though Time Stone Person wasn't actually playing against Space Stone Person? Well, that happened in the event. I don't know why, but like that was like very much a clarification. I asked about it,
right? But
it happened anyway, so I don't know, man.
I mean, I heard people on stream that were watching it said that they enjoyed it. They had a good time with it. Like the match that Stealth and Ryan LV had, where Ryan LV messed up Stealth's buttons and Stealth actually fought and like almost beat Ryan LV.
Yeah.
Like Yipes and Ringe were hilarious on that.
Yeah.
And so shout outs to them. And that was a fun tournament. I thought it was fun, but obviously just having it as an exhibition tournament, we'll get into this, I mean, that's MvCI's future, I think did hurt the hype for it a little bit and kind of the legitimacy, and it's kind of unfortunate that, you know, it doesn't feel like the game has quite yet had that take it seriously moment yet. You know what I mean? Because Battle for the Stones is kind of wonky, so...
By Capcom, I mean. Yeah, well, that seems right.
No.
I like I said, I liked...
Wait, hang on.
Hey, alright. We're back?
Yeah.
Sick. Yeah, neutrality jokes. Yeah, it's...
Or Cap Cops. One or the other, right?
Okay, alright. So, I thought it was a fun idea. I watched a bunch of it. I liked that they played in the audience. I don't know if people at home saw this or heard this, but whenever somebody announced that they were going to use a stone, they had like a track that was like Reality Stone,
right?
And like red lighting everywhere, you know, in the actual audience. So I thought that was kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah. But the tournament was, dude. The craziest thing about the tournament was the trophy. That trophy, the Thanos Gauntlet, which I heard cost a pretty penny to make. Like, was ridiculous.
Yes.
That thing was so
amazing.
beautiful. So beautiful. Oh, my God. You see, like, Cloud805 actually put out a video where he's, like, wearing it. Like, yeah, and, like, he was asking the Avengers if he could try to get the stars to sign it or something like that. That'd be so sick.
He had a really high-rated post on Reddit about it, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was very cool. Yeah,
nice.
it's a beautiful trophy. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
The matches were good. All the things I got to see, they were good. You know, speaking of whichever one switched the buttons around, now I don't even recall. Justin was practicing for that.
Really?
Like, yeah, because his opponent first round was the guy who had...
Or, no, I forgot who it was. Yeah, but keep going.
I don't remember, but it was the guy who had that stone. And so Justin expected that to be used. Or maybe it was second round. In any case, he was practicing for it. And then the guy didn't end up using it. And Justin was like, why wouldn't you just use it? He thought they should use it.
That's
weird. Was it
Teemo? Oh, was it Teemo? Oh, okay. Dang. Okay.
Yeah, but he was talking to me about his strategy. As long as I know where my fierce button is and my jab button is, I'll be fine. I just know where to dash. I'm just gonna do air dash H with Ultron. Like he was game planning around it.
Cool.
You know? It was pretty cool.
Okay. That's funny. But
anyway, talk about the results here. What do we got?
13th place was Viscamp, who actually in the first match, like everyone was like, "Oh, this is going to be free." He went down 0-2. He tied it to 2-2.
He did. He made it very close. It was literally the last decision.
Yeah. So shout outs to him. He actually I thought he dropped a combo, but it's actually a drop that he does on purpose for a reset, and it just didn't work, unfortunately. But Visant was in 13th place. Kane Blue River was there, Brian Casagano, as well as Aliun. So they were all tied for 13th place. Tied for 9th was Splice F-Champ. F-Champ did not do very well in this tournament at all. Timo, Kazunoko, and Sacktap. And I want to say that I think one of the most interesting sights that I saw, I can only assume it was Sacktap's mom.
That's right.
She's walking into the venue. It's like this older lady with a shirt that said Sacktap on it.
It's true. Yes.
7th place was Flocker, who did really well, actually, and Moise. 5th place was Arise Richard Wynn and Echo Fox's Justin Wong. 4th place was Stealth. 3rd place, Splice Ryan LV. 2nd place, EG's New York Chris G. And 1st place was Fort Cloud 805.
Yeah. It was very interesting results. You know, Moise being up there in the top 8. Same with Stealth. Flocker, who people like didn't even know if he was really playing in that.
He's using Mega Man.
Yeah, with Mega Man too. Yeah, or X, whatever.
Right, yeah, or Ass, as it sounds like it says when you pick him.
Yeah, those were really interesting results. That's not what people picked going into it for sure. So it was very cool to see.
Shout outs to Cloud 805.
Yeah.
Although I almost got killed by all the SoCal people because I was like secretly kind of like I kind of want Chris G to win because I know he loves trophies so much, and that trophy would have been like the ultimate thing for Chris G, and then basically like a bunch of SoCal people almost killed me, so I'm sorry about that.
What a bug.
I'm happy that Cloud 805 won. He's one of my favorite players. So
yeah, he's from my home county.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
oh, Ventura County.
But shout out to
he's
Cloud
from the
805.
city of Oxnard. That's a real city name.
Why would that not be a real city name?
Oxnard? Really? What do you mean, why?
Alright, fine. But yeah, it was good stuff. It was a fun tournament. I'm excited to see, hopefully this year. Let's just talk about the future of Marvel. Let's just do this. Is there anything else you want to mention about this?
Yeah, surprising to see F-Champ in 9th. You know, but
in the wrong version of the game.
Well,
but
but interestingly, although that surprises me, in talking with some players before the tournament started, we asked them, or maybe I don't remember if you were there, but I asked them, I guess, if they were worried about F-Champ winning. Is F-Champ going to win this thing? And they were like, "Why would F-Champ win?" They went into this thinking F-Champ's not going to be good.
Well, he hasn't been doing well in the NorCal tournaments that they've been playing.
Yeah,
so he hasn't even been doing there very well. So
yeah, man. So well, like I said, I think it's very cool to see some players in the top 8 that we may not have expected. But,
I mean, honestly, there's definitely still a bunch of names that I'm sad that weren't there. Obviously, Oliver was sad not that he's not there. I just don't feel like that this tournament is right without Clockwork being there. Oh, man. But yeah, it was cool.
If only he'd been able to be there and get 9th place. Damn. Same with Oliver, I guess. Alright, yeah. So enough about the results then. Talk about Marvel in general. As I said before, there were 15 people in the audience.
If that many. It
was tough. And the people who were there were sparse. There were like the players who were actually playing in the first 2 rows. They were actually there. And then some of their friends and maybe like 3 or 4 dedicated loud Marvel heads. Because that definitely was there. And then other than that, there were like intermixing, just sparse people. The guy was eating his lunch there. He just sitting by himself. Like it was that kind of thing. So it was rough. It was very rough. And I felt sad about it on Sunday, on Finals Day. Felt like Marvel was treated like how Street Fighter was treated at ESL Brooklyn Beatdown Year 1.
Yeah.
Where it was not really why anybody was there.
Right.
10 people cared about it.
Well,
Let's just show the grand finals.
Yeah, but don't forget, even in Year 2, all the Street Fighter talent got kicked out of the talent room. So.
That's true. It was pretty dumb.
By a certain somebody.
In any case, talk about that sometime. But
yeah,
that's what made me think of. It was just not even to have top 4 or something, top 3 winners finals, losers finals. Yeah, it was just you know, it was disappointing. And the stream, you know, I felt like it got reasonable numbers considering it's on
channel.
Battle for the Stones. Yeah, right.
It's literally a 3-month-old channel right now.
Right, but still, it's not great. Right, it's not to like write home about. It's like, hey, it's a little golf clap. You know?
That's cute.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah. So definitely disappointing. Definitely disappointing. And moving forward, I got to tell you, not a lot of people are bullish about it. You know, in conversations with players there, some of them aren't planning to continue playing it at that level.
Right.
Right. Preferring to concentrate on Street Fighter, Dragon Ball, Injustice, whatever they're talking about, Tekken, and that is also disappointing, you know. So no announcements for the game, like at either
that was kind of
you know, next year we're gonna have a season or any characters,
right?
Or they did just come out with some characters. It's not like nothing is happening for the game, but it's not. You're not stoked about how it's looking.
Right. The problem with it, honestly, they just tried to do it too fast. You know what I mean? They just tried to do the whole thing set up in 3 months, you know, with this crazy thing. And
you know, they had to do it quickly. I mean, that was when the game was coming out, right?
Right.
I'm sure that the guys who do the esports stuff don't have any control over that. So they, you know, you got to plan for that. But I don't know. It's unfortunate how it has gone. It'd be unfortunate if those players stopped playing it. I'm not going to say who. It would be bad move, but there were a few.
I mean, there's a lot of people who said they're going to keep playing it, though.
That's for sure.
I mean, obviously, this got a little bit stirred up by Wizard,
right?
Posting up his tweet was like, "Oh, Blow Up Tuesday, is Marvel dead?" You know, yes, no, poll kind of thing, and
and then somebody replied something like, "Is this about whether it's going to be at Evo or not?" And then Wizard said, "It'll help us make that decision."
Right.
Yeah. That was not great.
Well, it's weird because, like, in a way, do you feel like he's trying to kickstart the community a little bit? Like, get them to, like, try to up... Because, I mean, it's kind of like that KOF article, right? After that KOF article, all of a sudden all the KOF players are like, oh, let's do stuff.
It's true.
Right? So I'm wondering if that's kind of the same effect, you know? I'm kind of hoping for that kind of situation.
Sure. I hope that happens. That may be a result. Certainly there were people in the community after that conversation who talked a lot about
Clockwork
trying to
had
get
some
going.
great threads on that.
He did.
You know, he had a great thread about that whole thing.
I don't really believe that was with Mr. Wizard's goal.
Yeah.
I don't think that, but that may be a consequence of it. So, I was, I've just been using this word the whole time. Keep going with it. It's disappointing. Disappointing to see that tweet. You know, they gave KOF a chance, even though the game seemed like it didn't have much of a big scene.
Right.
And then when Evo came, it actually didn't have that big of a scene.
Right.
Like it was not. There wasn't like a big switch. And although at the time I said that I wish there were some other games that had been, I wanted Killer Instinct and stuff. I still felt like it was certainly legit to be there. This is a new game. Like I get it. And the grand finals were awesome.
Right.
It was a really, really good top 8. But they gave it a chance, and I would like to see them do the same with Marvel. You know, Pokken was there.
Yeah.
Nobody knew whether Pokken would have a scene or not. Ended up having one, right? But nobody knew at the time. So I would like to see it. I would be disappointed if it wasn't there. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, the hardest part, I mean, we did that during that wish list. Remember, we did the 7-game wish list. Now, if it was 7 games, I think Marvel's in big trouble. If they actually go up to 9 games or 8 or 9 games, I think there's a much better chance for Marvel to get in there. So I think it's really just going to depend on that, to be honest with you. And in fact, I don't know. I guess I believe in the Marvel community because, you know, what they did for MvC3 was really cool. Although, you know, I was talking about on Twitter, And, you know, poor Kinder Party, he was just like, man, but you don't even know, like, the financial burden that it put on all of us, you know, to do that much. And then basically just kind of have no future with it because there's really no MvC3 and it doesn't feel like the game's getting supported because, like you said, there's not even announcements. Like, are we going to get any more characters? Or are we just going to have lopsided character red-blue boxes for the rest of our lives, you know?
That almost seems fitting, but yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know if this is something we want to talk about now, but obviously Disney and Fox happened.
Right.
So Disney bought out Fox, and so they own...
Well, assuming that goes through.
Right, they own the X-Men again.
Right.
If it goes through. And they own The Simpsons, which I read, and I was like, this is weird. Like, The Simpsons are a Disney cartoon now. Like, something about that to me just, like, didn't quite... click in my head. But regardless, they theoretically now they have the X-Men. And so putting the X-Men in the game could definitely be a shot in the arm that the game needs, you know.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. That sounds like a far off prospect, but I guess that could be. In the meantime, for this coming year, I almost feel like people should plan for there not to be anything. Plan for there not to be a pro tour or whatever. Well, and then if it comes, cool. But like to plan for that and to have the thoughts of like, we're gonna run this like we run Guilty Gear, and it's just it's us. We're the community. We're doing it ourselves. We don't need like some long pro tours. Just show up to the monthlies, show up to the weeklies, show up to the majors, and like go into it thinking that that's how it's gonna be. Because I feel like that's better than the opposite of thinking that there's going to be a pro tour and sort of putting your hopes on that, and then if it doesn't appear, now you're really disappointed, and you don't want to do stuff anymore. So that's
honestly, I feel like if they did a curly circuit again, for example, this year, right? Like I feel like that would be easier and more exciting to run because you just don't have to deal with Marvel that way. Unless Marvel just comes in and puts the kibosh on the whole entire thing, right? Which could theoretically happen, but I don't know, it just seems like small fish, right? Like, what are they bothering with that? So if the community can just run a curly circuit thing, and they run it nicely, and, you know, it's Kinder Party and Angelic and Yipes and Persia and all those guys doing all that work for that again, I think that could be a cool thing, and it might even turn out to be a little bit easier and a little bit more fun. It wouldn't be as big prize pools or prize money or stuff like that, but, you know, that's not necessarily what it's about a lot of the times, right? It's about just playing a game that you enjoy and having fun. So I've always said that I think the community has more to say about whether a game lives or dies than anything else. And a lot of people are like, oh, that's not true at all. It really depends on the companies and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, there's a little bit to it there, but I refuse to throw my hands up and be like, oh, the company doesn't support it, game's dead. What can we do? Like, I'd rather believe that people could save it and do something cool than to just think, oh, no support, game is dead. So
I'm with you. I really don't want a passive community. I would think that would super suck.
Yes.
If it was just the community just thought, well, hey, the developer or publisher's got to do all the things. Just give it to us. We shouldn't do stuff. It's not about us having to do anything. It's just they should do it. It's your game. But that's so different from how the history of the FGC has been, and I think that's really valuable history. I would not want to see that go away, that mindset of that we are the game, basically. The community is the game. Developer, publisher, they can be involved, that's fine, I guess, but like that's not what it's about. I mean, I don't want to see that go by.
Someone actually said, like, there's not much history of a game succeeding without developer support or community hyping up a game. And I was like, dude, Third Strike wasn't even at EVO 2002, right? They were the ones that got that in there. And then Melee is like the perfect example, right? Melee is like one of the biggest games at tournaments, and it still has no support. And it's been doing that this whole entire time, largely due to documentaries and getting themselves back into EVO and stuff like that.
Well, that's the start of it, right? But at this point, it's got some momentum. So.
Exactly.
So anyway, I'm not super optimistic about the future for Marvel Infinite. If I had like some client who was like, hey, should I play? I can play one video game professionally. What should it be? Not Marvel. But for the rest of the community, I do think that it can still be a strong community game. Think about every week at NLBC. Thousands of people are there to watch Marvel. It's still the game that they show every week. They show a little bit of other games too, but it's mostly Marvel. And I'm definitely one of those people watching.
Right.
I watch that for sure. So there's something there. It's not nothing, but I'm not terribly optimistic about how it's going to go.
We'll see what happens. We'll see if Capcom announces anything. Like, they didn't even announce a Pro Tour next year. Like, there was literally nothing they announced. And so it's just really suspect. But again, like I said, it feels like maybe they'd be better off without having to worry about Marvel breathing down their necks and stuff like that. Again, I like the game. I think it's fun. The patch just came out. New characters have been added. I think there's going to be some cool things going on there. I need to get back into the game.
Hey, did you see... oh man, now who was it? Somebody was posting sick tech for your team.
Hawkeye Black Panther?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't see that.
It was Filthy Rich.
Really? He was doing the same one?
Yes. He was showing like 8K combos with those dudes. He like sick setups, mix-ups.
Did he steal my team?
I don't know how he came onto that team, but I'm telling you, he's showing some stuff for it.
I should have talked to him. I saw him at Capcom Cup. I should have asked him.
That man is a really good tech monster.
Oh, he's one of the best, dude. He's one of the best.
Always has been.
Yeah. So, okay.
Filthy Rich, man.
Anything else you wanted to say about MvCI's future or anything like that?
Well, I hope people keep playing the game.
Have you tried out the new characters yet? Oh, we talked about that last week. We talked about that, didn't we? Yeah, we did.
Yeah. I mean, I still play it. Like, the only fighting game that I played since the end of Capcom Cup, which was like 3 days ago, it's not forever, is Marvel.
Oh, okay.
Just because I had not been playing Marvel, I had only been playing Street Fighter to prepare for Capcom Cup, but I missed playing Marvel Infinite, so I've been playing it in the last few days.
Okay.
Cool. I really hope other people do too. Like I said, I'm not super optimistic.
I just played some Tekken again today to test out the input lag stuff. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Okay. Cool.
I do play on PC, and it took a little while to find a match. It's true.
All right, let's talk about a few other big things that happened this weekend in the game news here. Unfortunately, it's super generic because there are some bombs that were dropped.
Bombs, huh?
Soul Calibur 6.
Ding!
Soul Calibur 6 was a thing all along,
oh my God.
I just had no belief. I really didn't think that was actually going to be a thing. But sure enough, here it is, Soul Calibur 6.
Dude, it looks sick. It looks super fast.
Yeah.
So there's a 10-minute like gameplay.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's gameplay plus like developer interview.
Okay.
And during the interview, anyway, during the interview, they're showing gameplay, and it's fast, dude. Like, the movement was always pretty good in that game in Soul Calibur. Like, it was never like a slow game, especially 8-way movement. But it looked super fast.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay. So it looked really interesting, and they talked a little bit about the game design. You know, they're putting in the slow down stuff like Tekken has.
Oh, nice. That's okay. Nice.
But not.
Sorry, guys. I did not realize this was going to be happening with my neighbors.
I don't remember what I was going to say. Anyway, it looked cool.
Yeah, I just can't believe it's a real thing. I that was like one of the ones that I was just like, there's no way this is coming back. But the thing is, if Bandai Namco treats it like they treated Tekken, like if it's not like MvCI budget, right? Like if they treat this thing with as much care as if they've treated with Tekken 7.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah,
there's very little about that company that makes you think that they won't. Very little.
Yeah, and and hopefully maybe they even heard a lot of the things about Tekken as well, and will put in more one-player content. Because, dude, Soul Calibur 2 on the Dreamcast was one of the first video games ever to get a perfect 40 score from Famitsu. Because it just had the craziest one-player content.
That's right. Tekken doesn't really have that.
Right, Tekken has got nothing. There's no tutorials. There's nothing in the game. The game doesn't teach you anything, and the story mode is just kind of like goofy,
You get to play like 5 characters.
Right.
That's pretty bad.
And so someone in my stream chat earlier today was apparently Soul Calibur already has a training or a tutorial confirmed or something like that. Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. We're back? Okay.
Ah.
So, yeah, I was just saying, if they treat it with the same kind of love, and then also if they learn from the Tekken stuff and put some more one-player content in there, because Tekken 7 doesn't have a lot of one-player content. Some people in my stream earlier were saying that apparently they've already confirmed that there's going to be a tutorial in it, unlike Tekken 7, etc., etc., so we'll see.
It better have character creation.
There was rumors of that, too. There was rumors of that, too, so, yeah.
Man, it's such a good game. Well, they have been good games. Not all of them. I really like some of them. New
reversal edge mechanic or something. What was that about?
The description of it was kind of weird. I don't know if there's a written description that was better of it, but the way that the translation on the thing I watched was like that. You know how there's like a horizontal button and there's the vertical and there's the kick and there's like one beats the other and whatnot. Well, this one beats all of them or whatever. It was like it was not the easiest to understand.
Yeah, okay.
So, I don't know.
But apparently, Soul Calibur 6 producer hinted at guest characters and character creation, so we might end up with that kind of a situation again.
Yeah, the developer described it as being, for people who don't know about all of that one beats the other thing, they can just do this thing. You know how it is. Like, developers always have to pay some attention to, if you don't know how to play, you can still play this game. Even in the most complex games, they say that. So,
right.
Whatever. I don't care.
Okay. Another thing is, let's just stay on this topic. This Bandai Namco Tekken 7 patch came out, and guess what? The lag is down to 4.8.
Did you notice it?
When I played it, I don't think I know the game well enough to really be able to feel it. However, it did feel crisper, and I was doing really, really well today.
Okay.
And I was definitely punishing things on block a little bit easier.
Okay.
But I don't know. Like, I don't know if that has to do with it, but it felt a little more fluid to me. But like I said, it's not like I'm going to really be able to make a good judgment of it just because I'm not great at the game. But like I said, I was playing really well today until I ran to an Elisa who decided to use the exact opposite of the 15 most important moves for the character. And I was just like, I could not beat this person because she was just doing the craziest shit ever. And I was so mad at the end. Oh, man.
Yes, Astaroth better be in there.
But I have heard a lot of people say that it feels a lot better now to them, by actual like Tekken players. Rip said like he was happy. But I mean, the thing about this though is that what I had heard is that they did not update the Unreal Engine. They worked with Epic, who created the Unreal Engine, to specifically just implement that fix into the old engine. Like, they backported that fix into it. So it was the fix, but they didn't have to put in the entire engine, so they don't have to test the entire game.
Gotcha.
And if that's the case, then Capcom needs to go and talk to Epic now and get that into Street Fighter, please. 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 Like, because that would be awesome if they could do that for Street Fighter. Yeah.
Sure.
4.8. It went from 7.7, I think it was, to like 4.8. You almost dropped that input lag down by half. I mean, that's a significant chunk. Three seconds like that is three frames. 3 frames like that, more than 3 frames, is huge. It's huge, in my opinion. So,
agreed, dude.
Yeah. It's really cool.
I said milliseconds. Frames. Yeah. Hey. Are there any characters you're looking forward to in Soul Calibur? What do you want?
I would actually like Maxi or Li Long back, because if I want to learn, because I always liked playing with, I like the nunchuck, because ever since Soul Calibur 2, where they had the katas, the katas in the tracked mode, those just look super sick,
right.
and Li Long's looked super cool because he was just doing the nunchuck thing. Dude, I love those things. Those are like so much like. Because I used to work at the UCLA arcade, right? And whenever the machines were just sitting there and Soul Calibur 2 was there, I would just stop and just sit there and watch it every single time.
Dude.
Where they're just like, boom, boom, and killing
and
the staff and everything. Oh, it was so beautiful looking. It was like one of the first times that I ever saw something in a video game that I was truly like, this is like what realism in games looks like. You know what I mean? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So him, I also kind of liked Killick a little bit because he just reminds me of a Romance of the Three Kingdoms character, but We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Those are probably the two most that I'm looking at right now. So
y'all know who I want.
You want Astaroth, right?
Yes.
So, yeah. But I mean, they already showed the giant eye in the sword, right? I mean, isn't that the Nightmare sword?
That's Nightmare.
Yeah, that's Astaroth's weapon, right? So.
No, that's Nightmare.
Oh, wait. I don't know the lore. Of Soul Calibur. So.
No, that's Nightmare.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was cool too. I wouldn't mind that. I feel like it'd be weird to. Well, I guess you have is it Siegfried or Nightmare, whatever.
Okay.
I feel like Astaroth will be in there, but they're definitely going to have one of the big axe boys.
Okay. So wait, Astaroth?
Rock or Berserker
I
or whatever.
Astaroth was the character that supposedly won the first one and got the Nightmare sword, wasn't he? Or
I don't have the
was
keyboard.
that Nightmare?
You should just look up Nightmare and Astaroth.
Okay, I must be getting them confused then. I'm definitely getting them confused. Oh, yeah. Astaroth. Okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, oops.
Oh, there's something else, huh? What's Astaroth?
It's the regular Astaroth. Oh, okay. Got it.
There you go.
Yeah, sorry about that. My bad. Soul Calibur, yeah, it's a game that I never played. I never learned it. You know what I mean? So
Played a bunch of 2 and 3. Not really much after that. And I this is true. I only started playing 2 because one of my friends back in college, his cousin said he was really good at Soul Calibur. And so...
You had to slap me.
No, it wasn't even like that. My friend was like, hey, I know a guy who plays Street Fighter competitively, because that's all I played at the time.
Right.
And so my friend, like, hooked us up. I didn't know this was going to happen. But, like, we were all hanging out at his apartment, and his cousin was there, and his cousin was like, let's play Soul Calibur. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't really know how to play. I've mashed, but I don't really know how to do stuff. And within 5 games, I was beating him consistently. I just picked some character who had some button, and I just was like, button.
Dude,
button.
Did you read the story about the Guilty Gear, about the dad whose, like, daughter's in, like, middle school, and, like, she was dating some guy, and the guy said, oh, I play Guilty Gear, and the dad's like, oh, really? Because he, like, really likes Guilty Gear, and so he challenged the boyfriend, and, like, he beat him, like, in a 1st to 10.
The dad beat the boyfriend?
Yeah, and, like, he was just, like, talking so much smack about it, the family had to kick him out of the house for dinner because he just, like, wouldn't stop talking or something like that.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It was kind of funny, so...
Anyway, so after that, I started playing Soul Calibur more.
Yeah, Dad won 10 to 6.
Dang! What characters did they use, you know?
I have no idea.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Okay. What else do I want to talk about here? How's your experience been with fighting EX Layer?
Oh, yeah, I played it a lot.
I haven't touched it yet.
It's got some interesting ideas, definitely. The card system, which is called Gogi.
Right. Hella broken.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it cannot launch in the way that it currently is. But I like the idea of it in the same way that I liked the idea of Cross Tekken Gems. Mm-hmm. Just, they were horribly implemented. But the idea of it I thought was cool. So I'd love to see the Gogi system get fleshed out a little bit better, not have some of the things that it currently does, or else, like, really redo how they work.
Or, like, the infinites and stuff like that in the game?
Obviously, you gotta fix the infinites. Yeah, no, for sure. But even things like, if your character holds on to your meter for your full meter for 40 seconds, if I recall correctly, everything else activates, and now you're basically God. You have infinite meter, you get more damage.
Jesus. Okay.
You know, during those 40 seconds, you can't do supers, right? You got to hold on to your meter. So is that worth now then being God afterward?
Yeah.
And then one of them is that you, if you get. What is it? If you get knocked down
10 times,
10 times, then you have
super armor. So that's what I played one game at the PSX experience against Sajam, and that's what he picked. He picked Juggernaut, and eventually I couldn't hit him. I was just hitting him, and he was just going through everything, and I was like, what the hell is going on? Yeah.
And then there's also one where if you dash, see, dash turns into a run, right? If you dash and just the run barely starts, then you go invisible for several seconds.
And that's a gem, right? That's a Gogi system.
It is, but the only requirement is that you, like, not get hit for the previous some seconds, and then you dash.
Okay.
But that just, if you're a neutral, you run. So all, like, literally my whole game plan was, I picked Darun, the command grab character, and I just backdashed at the start of the round, and then I just waited like a few seconds, and then I dashed, and now I'm a command grab character, and you don't know where I am, and that's pretty wild.
Oh man.
So like, am I trying to jump over your fireballs? Am I like walking and blocking? You know, you don't know. And also, if you get a knockdown with him, if you do his little lariat, it's like perfectly spaced and timed, so that you do the knockdown lariat, which is like a little spin, and then you dash, just run for like a couple of frames. Now you're invisible and jump, and that jump can be from the front. It can be a cross up. It can be empty jump low. It
You're
can be empty
invisible
jump low.
even as soon as you jump. You don't reappear when you jump.
No, you're just invisible for the next several seconds until you hit something, until you press a button. So empty jump. So yeah, cross up, not cross up. Empty jump low from the front, empty jump low from the back, empty jump command grab. Good luck. And then all those options snowball into doing exactly the same thing. So
I mean, the interesting thing about the game right now is that there were people talking like that they're not worried about trying to make it a balanced fighting game. They just want to make a fun, crazy game. You know, like a Kusogi kind of game. You know, like combos. Which one was that? Was that the North Star combo, the Hokuto no Ken?
Oh, there were some wild ones in that game.
Yeah, sure. that was the one with the crazy, with like the guys would just like bounce, like you would do jab and short and jab and short. And, yeah.
Anyway, it's pretty wild. It's obviously needs rebalancing. Like, even if they're going to launch it and they want it to be crazy, like even still, it's pretty nuts.
There's definitely a lot of.
But I do like the idea of it. Interesting how the controller works too. So there's both the classic input system, which is like
that's right.
quarter circle forwards, whatever, and then there's the progressive input system, in which all you got to do is like forward plus punch or down forward plus punch, and command grab super is up down punches or up down one punch.
Okay.
So that it really changes how you play. It's like you can't do standing 720, but you can do stand fierce, carry cancel, up, down. It's super easy.
Dude,
So you're just doing standing 720s.
You saw the range on Darun's Kara SPD, right?
I did.
It extends it by like 1.5 or something. It was like ridiculous.
That is super easy to do, because all you have to do is press down medium kick, then up plus punch. You don't have to spin the stick.
Oh, it was down up in the spinning pile driver, not up down?
The spinning pile driver itself is just up plus punch. The 720 super is up plus down. Up then down.
Oh, interesting.
Right, so when you're doing crouching medium kick, carry cancel, SPD, the only input is down plus kick, up plus punch. It's really fast.
And there's no weakness to it.
Well, there's no extra startup, I guess.
But I mean, there's no weakness to the progressive control system.
Not that I can see.
Dang.
Maybe other people have figured it out, but I tried looking around for that. Like, why would I not play this system?
Right.
And I don't know.
I mean, the cool thing that I liked about me and Seijam were happy about it, because after lots of playing of Street Fighter V, boy moves had long range in that game. Like, we'd be standing this far away, and then low forward would reach, and we were like, what the hell? Like, we were so used to just having things.
It's got a very interesting neutral game. Yeah. A lot of characters have big buttons. There's zoners, there's the command grab character, there's Shifty, Skullomania doing backdash to the side and whatever, yeah.
Yeah. It was so funny, too, because we were standing there, and, like, Seijam was like, what's up with the Skullomania character? So I started going into the entire lore of the character, and people around me were like, how do you know the lore of this game?
What is the lore? Is it dumb?
He was a salesperson who
wanted
to do something or other, but then he got put into the position where he had to put on a suit to, like, be one of those, like, guys dancing outside or whatever like that. But then he found out he liked it so much that he turned himself into a superhero based off of that. So that is the lore of Skullomania.
That sure is dumb. Wow. It's a fun game. After the first night, I haven't played it, and the netcode needs some work. Everybody playing it's terrible. There's like no good players online that I found anyway. I went 17-0 at the start,
Jesus.
And then I lost a few times because the lag was really, really bad, and then I won like 12 more times in a row. It's just like nobody's playing it. So but it is fun. It's certainly a fun game.
Okay.
And Darun's cool, man. You're doing. Yeah, I was playing with Darun, and my girlfriend came over, and she was like, "What's that guy doing?" What's up with his pelvis? What's that man doing over there? I was like, this is going to be difficult to explain. I'm not sure either.
Yeah, that character is amazing, dude. I know way too much about EX. I had way too much history with that game, dude. That game was silly. Okay. How's Adam?
Oh, Adam is very interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting. So his trait is the little
Shrinky,
thing,
yeah,
little shrinky shrink.
okay.
And you're just a point of light. You're super small. You can be hit.
But how fair is it busted?
It's pretty wild, but you can be hit during it.
And you have different chains while
yes, so while you're in small dude, you basically press buttons and it does things for you. You have a jump still, you have an air dash. You can like press each of the buttons is an attack. You can do little overheads and stuff. You can hit towards, and you can like cross up and do overheads, and it is definitely pretty wild. But it doesn't last for very long.
Okay.
And on top of that, the trait has a super long cooldown, but if you let it run out as it's being used, you can cancel it whenever you want. But if you let it run all the way out, then there is a super long cooldown.
He's not to run.
Well, no, it's not just that the trait is cooling down. It's that he's 12 after X copy, where he's coming out of it, and he's just like fixing his belt for a while, and he's just stuck there for several seconds.
Okay, gotcha.
So as the player, you need to make sure that you're canceling it every single time.
Okay,
and you're like keeping aware of where you are and stuff. If you throw, you can throw out of it. If you throw, it automatically cancels the thing.
Okay.
Because there's always some delay. Like, whenever you cancel it, there's like a second of delay. So you don't want to just, like, cancel in the opponent's face. It's going to be bad.
You want to see if you can knock down and
back
cancel.
Up, something like that. Get a throw. So there's a little interesting mind game about it. And when he's not in that mode, he doesn't really have footsies. He doesn't have, like, safe specials to cancel into. He does have a teleport. He does have a float in the air. He has, like, some funky options. But he's not, like, a... He's got a gun that's maybe like all right as semi-zoning.
So he's almost like Hakan then. Like you need to be oiled up and to be like super good.
But the two modes are so different. There's one of them is this like weird counter zoner where he has a teleport and this weird fireball and a float in the air to go over projectiles, and then up close he's still not even that safe on stuff.
Right. Okay.
But then the little dude mode is like very fast, in your face, overhead stuff, lows. So he's just two really different characters. But it seems cool. Some people think he's really good. Some people think he's pretty good. Nobody thinks he's terrible so far.
Cool. He's definitely one of the characters I'd be interested in looking at if I could finally pick up a secondary that's not Catwoman. You know.
Yeah, man. I think you would enjoy him. He's definitely an active character for sure. Okay. For sure. And when you're in the trait. Like, the combos are super buttonsy. Because the buttons are not just hits there, they move him too. So you're just like...
Interesting.
You're just pressing all the buttons. It's kind of cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he has these weird formulas that he drops where he can... what do they do? One is like, it turns into mist and does damage over time. One of them... oh man, I don't remember what the other ones do.
Chemicals, basically.
Yeah, chemicals. He drops them on the ground, and then he can throw another thing on them, and they each do something different.
Okay.
So there are setups with that, of course.
Interesting.
And if you like put out the one that is like there's like a wall of poison, like they can't. I think the opponent can walk through, but they take a lot of damage over time while they're doing so. So you can like set that up, and then do your little guy nonsense, and then retreat, and then put off your. Like, stand behind that while the cooldown's going on.
Okay. Gotcha.
Seems like a fun character.
Nice. Okay. Another thing, Punch Planet, we talked about last week, came out on Steam for beta testing. There's a new patch, adds new sound effects and some balance changes in there, so check that out. I don't know if the Omen of Sorrow beta is still out there right now. It is not. It was
only this past weekend, and... That's a bummer.
Yeah, but I saw some good footage of it. Although I heard that the chick with the flying is like really like overpowered right now. So someone put out a video of who was just doing the dirtiest mix-ups with that character. It looked really cool. So a lot of people seem to have really enjoyed it for that weekend. So
I played. I went over there for precisely one game.
Oh, you saw him?
Yeah,
you got to see it. Oh, okay.
Just
cool.
before we had to do. We had to meet on Sunday. So I played. If it's either Mr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde or Dr. Jekyll, right? Isn't that how it is?
Yeah, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, but I forget which is the guy who's which is the name. And he is this weird command grab counter zoner.
Ooh.
It's a very funky combination, but he has actually kind of the same thing as what I was just saying that Adam has, where he has different formulas that he can drop on the ground or throw, and they do different things. One of them does damage, one of them poisons, one of them switches or adds input lag or switches buttons. One of those two things.
Okay.
And then he also has a chemical that he can inject into himself that makes him faster or makes him stronger or whatever. And so he's this weird thing where he's kind of zoning from afar, but you don't want to let him do that. So you go in on the grappler.
But, I mean, did Felipe get a chance to explain to you the whole meter system and all that?
I remember
stuff
from
that?
before.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Cool.
So I had a chance to play against just somebody else random in the line.
Yeah.
Who was mad that I was just doing command grabs. He was like, "Are you just going to keep throwing the whole time?" And I was like, "The whole time."
He asked the wrong person, dude. He asked the wrong person. Because you not only are going to do it, but the answer that you're going to give is going to be the cheekiest of answers possible.
Yeah. And now, if I was planning to test something out about the character, now I'm only going to do command grabs.
Right, exactly. Are you only going to do command grabs? Yes. Yes, I am.
That's right. But it was really fun. I mean, it definitely is in development. They're working on it. But
No.
Cool
I mean, the
ideas
cool thing is, even talking to Felipe, he's the battle designer. So he's the guy that I've met in 19 different places already. I've seen him at Evo. I met him at Evo. I saw him in Chile. And then he was at SCR, and here he is this weekend. I've seen this guy a lot this year for a man who lives in Chile. I've seen him a lot. But he's even said that because they're still developing a lot of things, the ideas of the characters, the game system mechanics. He's not worried about the balance until towards the end.
Of course.
And I was like, that's beautiful. That's exactly how you need to do it. Just put the ideas for the characters in there as everything fleshes out, then worry about balance at the end. So
yes.
Couple of event news. Zowie Fighter will hold its 2017 Street Fighter V Finals in Taiwan in 2 days.
Oh.
Actually, it's going to be on this Saturday. And this is the one that's going to have Brooke from Wild Taiwanese from Taiwan, Crazy Dog from, I'm not sure, where's that, what's this?
Carzy Dog, it says?
Carzy Dog, yeah. Fight Club, UD from China, Liquid Knuckle-Doo, Pinoy, and OG Shine from the United States. Remember, Pinoy won the Zowie tournament that was here in SoCal. From France, I believe this is, Mr. Crimson, Nassim Claw, and Link Exilo. From the UK, Pax, Infectious, and Brian are going to be there. From Japan, Tachikawa and Moke. From Korea, NL, who got sponsored, by the way. NL got inspired by UIU.
Yep.
And Leslie from Singapore is going to be there. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16 players.
Very cool.
So that's going to start on, let's see, is it twitch.tv/Zowie Fighter. So that's going to start on local time, December 15th, 4 p.m. So
on which day?
The final starts at noon, December 16th. So local time, it's going to be 4 p.m.
No, you mean December 16th local time, or 4 p.m. Pacific time on December 15th?
On December 15th, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. So for us tomorrow.
Yes, for us tomorrow. So that'll be cool.
I guess for everybody tomorrow.
Yeah. So that's cool. Another one is that Panda X Gaming has announced that they will be doing another Ultra Fight Night at KIT.
Right.
For Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite and Injustice 2.
Very cool.
Yeah, very, very cool. Do they have the actual matches here? So it looks like MvCI, they're going to have Sonic Fox versus Cloud 805.
Ooh, okay, all right.
Oh,
I like it.
Okay,
I like it.
It looks like, let's see, what else do they have here? They have Samij versus Forever King.
Okay, that's a good one.
And then I guess Yipes is going to be on the mics for that. So
sweet.
There you go. Nice.
Very cool.
Okay, cool. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, they do such cool things there. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I haven't been able to go to KITs ever.
Did I go?
So.
Yes, I went last year.
Uh-huh.
While we're on the subject of like long sets like this, you know the War of the Gods Stream Me folks?
Oh, yeah.
So they do weekly Injustice tournaments on stream.me.
Oh, by the way, KIT is going to be January 5th through 7th in Tennessee at the Franklin Marriott Cool Springs in Franklin, Tennessee.
Right. So stream.me/war, they have weekly Injustice tournaments every Wednesday. But what they started doing now is also on Friday nights they have like long sets between players.
Okay, cool.
So you can have, there's like more exhibitions there.
Nice.
And then also, Ketchup and Mustard have been doing awesome first to tens on their stream, which I think is PND KNP or something stupid. Let me know if you guys know what it is offhand.
Shoutouts to excellently crafted channel names.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah. But anyway, so they've been doing really cool first to tens, and with like really funky characters too. Like they're trying to get all the weird characters out there.
Oh, that's cool.
If you're interested in seeing how Blue Beetle versus Swamp Thing goes, then they have that up there.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah, and on their YouTube channel as well, which is also PND KNP, something like that.
Did they really tease a DOA 6 announcement for NEC this weekend?
What?
NEC is this weekend, by the way.
Yeah.
So that's going to be taking place. That's always Big E's largest tournament. So that one's going to be a fun one. I think a lot of people are just going to go there and have a good time for Street Fighter. But there's a lot of other games that are going to be taking place there, too. So definitely check that out if you guys get a chance. Oh, there's going to be a Tenkaichi Budokai tomorrow on Jonio-san's channel at midnight for Guilty Gear Exert First to 10. Cool. Let's do that. Okay. One more thing that I'm going to mention here.
I got the YouTube channel name. It is PNDK ampersand M. K and M.
Ampersand works? I didn't know that was.
I didn't
know ampersand was allowed. Because isn't that like in URLs, like ampersand always like.
I don't know if it's actually in the URL, but that's the name of the channel.
Oh, okay.
No, it's actually not the URL, but the channel name is PNDK and M.
Okay.
And the streamy thing I was talking about is stream.me/war.
Okay.
WAR.
The last event thing that I have to announce is that Boss has figured out a way to scam people out of more money. I mean, he's going to run a CVS2 side tournament at EVO Japan.
Dang.
So, if you guys want to go and play there. And now he doesn't even have to spend any money on an airplane ticket.
Yeah,
so,
man, he's going to be raking it in. Although other people still play in Japan, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
He's probably going to win.
Should be a lot of fun. Should be good stuff. In other news, in other gaming news, Dragon Ball Z added a new version of Goku, as well as Hit and somebody else. Beerus, that's what it is, yes. But there is going to be a third...
He's not really Goku, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's what I was told.
Oh, man.
So I've just been having fun coming up with bizarre scenarios where people need to use the name Goku.
But apparently you can use them all in the same thing. So it sounds like you could have Goku, Adult Goku, and Black Goku, or Dark Goku, or Goku Black. What's his name?
So, Goku Black. There's like Goku Blue or something.
That's the Super
Saiyan
Saiyan one, right? That's Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. It's so stupid. I'm sorry. I don't mean to make fun of it. It's very difficult. Oh boy. Excuse me.
But Hit and Beers have been added to that as well. So there you go. So sounds like the roster's filling out pretty sizably. So there's going to be a lot of games coming out soon. There's so many mad people. That's so funny.
Well, it continues to be a beautiful game with interesting looking gameplay, so I'm looking forward to playing it. But I don't know about this character selection. And people keep telling me to expect at least 2 more Gokus.
Can't wait for James to name all them Gokus at Results next year.
Oh my God.
Number 1 place is Sonic Fox with Goku. Gohan was the one that had the adult, right? So
Teen
Goku,
Gohan and Adult Gohan.
Super Saiyan, Goku, and Goku Black, and then Second place was so-and-so with Gohan and Adult Gohan.
Super Saiyan, God Super Saiyan. It's not just Super Saiyan Goku, okay?
Okay, fair enough. Ultra. Oh,
but yeah, people still keep saying that there's like 2 more Gokus to expect, so. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, way to Goku, dude.
We'll see.
Alright, anything else that you want to mention outside of fighting game stuff, or?
Yeah, the net neutrality vote happened. That's now dead. However, there are already lawsuits.
Yeah. Like, 17 states are in it now.
Yeah, among other lawsuits. There's other lawsuits, too.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's not just the states. It's private parties, and they're suing on all sorts of things.
Okay.
Not just the substantive law, but that the procedures were broken, and there's a whole bunch of challenges. So even if there were no challenges at all, it's a couple of weeks away from actually being put into place. Mm-hmm. But there are lots of challenges being filed. So it's not going to all get fleshed out for quite a while. Also today, Disney announced that they're buying Fox,
right?
Or at least the entertainment side of Fox.
Right, we hinted at that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, that needs to go through regulation. Like that needs to pass. I should say pass the regulators. Although regulation under this administration is like pretty minimal, so I'm not. Don't expect for too much to get held up there. Anyway, I'm bummed about all of it. It sucks. It's very frustrating to know that that we have such little political and cultural power. That sucks. Nobody likes that, and nobody wants that. Nobody's out there fighting for that, with the exception of very large companies.
I mean, are you mad in particular that these guys are merging or being bought out, or you just don't like the process of it?
Well, both. I mean, I think that there should be more regulation. But I really hate the idea of monopolizing culture, and that's really what this is about.
Right.
So much of our culture is built into that. Everything from Mickey Mouse to Star Wars to X-Men and
Muppets.
So much stuff.
Marvels.
Simpsons, it's like...
Nightmare Before Christmas is now under there, yeah.
So much stuff is now under one roof. And if you're like, I guess maybe simple about it, then you can look at that as thinking that, well, this is a way for interesting projects to coexist together, and they can all be crossed into some interesting mix, and we could have Simpsons versus whatever, Minnie Mouse, who knows? But
Nightmare Before Christmas was not made by Disney. True story. They did not originally make Nightmare Before Christmas. They eventually just bought the property, and then they owned the property for the longest time.
So it's been a long path towards monopolization like this, and it's been going on for a long time. But it bothers me to know that if copyright law hadn't been changed in the 70s, that properties that we're all excited for now, like maybe having crossovers like Iron Man and Wolverine and stuff, they would just be in the public domain anyway in like 10 years.
Right.
Like they would just be there. Anybody could do whatever they wanted with it. Meanwhile, in these past 58 years, they would have had a lot of time to make whatever use and a lot of money, and it's all certainly worth their while. But now that's going to go on for 120 years, and pretty likely that's going to continue past that. I'm sure there's going to change the laws. So when Disney was about to lose the rights to Mickey Mouse in the 90s, they lobbied hard for an additional period of time for their copyright to continue. Now Disney owns everything. And it's not just that they own Mickey Mouse and stuff. It's, like I said, so much stuff in culture. And they have a huge leverage on Congress, even bigger now than they did before. And meanwhile, everybody else has much, much less control, much, much less power. It's harder to create a competitor. It's harder to create some other new company, some other new property. Or it's harder to have some interesting crossover that you yourself want to see. Or maybe if there's some George Lucas guy who's ruining whatever property that he made, you can't do anything about that. You have to wait your whole life before you can do anything about that.
Right.
It's just very frustrating for somebody who wants... I want everybody to be able to make and use stuff. That's all. But both of the things today really strike against that, and it's very frustrating to know that. I was very optimistic about future, as kids would do in the 2000s. Well, we're totally going to win this internet fight, and it's, oh man, free culture, everybody's going to be able to share whatever they want, it's all going to be good. It's for sure not like that. So, it's
darkest of timelines.
It really is one of the darker possible timelines. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Definitely is a frustrating day. And there's no reason to expect change, certainly not under this administration, and I don't. It's been bipartisan, so I don't see why it would change.
Someone asked what happened with net neutrality. So 5 people had to vote on it today.
Yes.
And it to repeal net neutrality, what Obama set up during his administration, and it won the vote to repeal 3-2.
Yeah.
So basically 3 guys versus actually 2 women.
That's true.
Turns out, yeah.
It was the 3 Republicans versus the 2 Democrats. Mm-hmm. Whichever administration is in power, whichever party is in power, they get the 3. And the other party gets the 2, and the representatives are like agreed on. Like Ajit Pai, who's now the leader of it, he was actually appointed under Obama because
he was appointed under Obama.
Yeah, just because the way that it works is like the Republicans are like, hey, we want this guy. You give them the 2, it doesn't even matter who they are because they're not going to pass anything. So that he's been there for a while. It's just this funky process, and they had announced that they would be taking this vote. And that, there's going to be a whole comment period beforehand, which is required by law. But that seems to have done nothing at all, even though the vast majority of responses were in favor of keeping net neutrality.
People said 83%.
Yeah, and many of the ones that were not were bots. Although, to be fair, some of the ones that were bots, too. In any case, huge majority of people wanted it to go. So it's a tough day for the idea of some democratic control, too, because the idea of the comment process is that the people get a say. You're right.
That's what I was frustrated about. Yeah,
FCC is not elected by anybody. It's appointed by people who are elected. Right? So in order to keep like some semblance of democracy in there, they've had this the comment period, and not just for the FCC. That's generally how administrative bodies work. But the process is so obviously broken, and they don't need to pay attention to the results anyway. That like.
I mean, even one of the people during the hearing today apparently even said that the public comments don't matter to them. Like, he just was like, they don't matter to me.
So, what they are bound by law to respect the substantive comments. So, if there's just somebody who just writes like, "Hey, I want net neutrality," that's it. Not like extra substantive arguments. I want net neutrality because reason X and Y. Then they can ignore that comment. They shouldn't.
Wow.
They shouldn't, but legally they don't have to pay attention to it. However, there were so many comments put in, and almost all of the substantive ones were still for net neutrality, that it seems like they ignored even that stuff, even that little like bit that you need to pay attention to. They seemingly ignored. I don't have any good news about it.
It's so weird because it's just like, I don't feel like the people have any power right now. Nobody really wanted the tax thing to go. No one wanted this repeal. It's just like, it's frustrating right now.
Yes, it is super frustrating.
Super
and
frustrating.
It's not, if you're only in this time, if you're only growing up in this time, just know that it wasn't always like this. It hasn't always been like this. Not just my days of youth when I was optimistic and stuff. That's not what I mean. I mean, historically, it was not always as, mean of a process and lopsided and sort of disconnected from the democratic aspects of things. It wasn't always like that. It wasn't always as gridlocked as it is now. It's particularly bad. It's been as bad in the past, but in the deep past. Like, you got to go back to the late 1800s for anything similar to be found in terms of corruption and gridlock. So, we've sort of made our way out of that eventually that time. Maybe we can this time, but it's not going to be easy. Not going to be quick, that's for sure.
I mean, it's really just going to have to be change in the power of the Senate and everything like that, right? So,
I feel like there needs to be lots and lots of changes. It's hard. It's so many that it's hard to say where to start. I don't know. Money has to be out of there, and there have to be more reasonable less crazy gerrymandering. You can't pick your districts,
Yeah.
Like, North Carolina voted for Barack Obama one year and lost, the Democrats lost in North Carolina like 49% to 48% in terms of the presidential vote. But and they actually took the governorship, but the state representatives and the House representatives from there, super majority Republican. So there's 48-ish% of the state that wants to vote Democrats. They are not at all represented in...
Right.
It's basically a one-party system. It's one-party rule in terms of the House and the state legislature. I don't know how you get out of that. Because the snowballed so hard.
Is supposed to... they have a certain number of votes, but instead of representing it percentage-wise, they take whoever won, even by like 0.5%,
right.
They give
first
them
past the post voting.
Right.
Right. So that's something to look at. There's a lot of stuff to look at. And like I said, many things, it's hard to know where to go first.
I forgot, were you the one that tweeted this out? But there was even an article about like how prisons are even included in the gerrymandering and stuff like that.
I did see that.
Yeah.
So the population of a prison is included in the population for a House seat, right? Every House seat has to represent some number of people or whatever. And that population is... The prison population is added to that, but they can't vote.
Right.
They cannot vote while in prison, and many of them can't vote afterward because felons in many states can't vote at all. So it's the way that the article that I read put it was that it's a 0/5 compromise. That is to say, in slave days, the 3/5 compromise meant that the slave population was counted towards the House, the number of House seats you had, but only 3/5 of them counted because they couldn't actually vote. Just the population. So for prisons, it's the same, with the exception that it's 0/5 because they can't. Or no, 5/5, not 0/5, 5/5 because it counts as an entire person.
Oh, okay.
5/5. And what happens is that those people are largely exported from cities to rural areas. And so the population, or the relative power of rural areas is increased, cities minimized, and people can't vote anyway afterward in many cases.
And they'll even gerrymander the prisons into certain areas to
correct,
tweak the results and everything like that. So
there's a lot of bad stuff. It's never been the case that things have been perfect. In fact, in many ways, it has been much worse before. But right now it's still really bad. You can't sugarcoat it.
It's crazy to me because it's just one of those things that terrifies me. I'm just like curious to see what's going to happen. Like 100 years from now, how is this era going to be viewed in the history books, man?
I think about that all the time.
Yeah,
all the time, dude. I don't know. It's hard to imagine that it would be covered favorably. Like the only way that happens is if some Trumpian party just gets complete control and the one-party rule really becomes strong.
Right.
And if there's basically dictatorship. But that even in that case, for that to last 100 years is so rare, right? The Soviet Union didn't last for 100 years. Like, it's really super rare. At some point, it's going to run out. And when that happens, there's not going to be favorable thoughts about this. I just hope that at some point it becomes less partisan. Like, when you talk about history in the U.S., you don't think about it being partisan necessarily. You don't think about what side either one is taking as being relevant for you now. When you learn about things that happened in the 1800s, you just think oh, that happened. Not
right.
That's my team that did
right.
this thing. It's not like
that,
right? So I hope that at some point, not 130 years from now. I hope it doesn't take that long, but at some point it will be like that. But yeah, Mickey Mouse will probably still be under copyright.
Oh man.
Yeah, the anti-federalists. Oh man, all right. The Whig Party.
It's interesting.
There were people who called themselves the Know-Nothings back in the day. There's a lot of weird stuff that happened in American history, dude.
It's like my brother was telling me that apparently Madison at one point in time was really trying to do away with the party system because he just felt like that was really hurting everything. And in a way it kind of is because net neutrality is something that I don't think anybody wants, but it's just you end up voting a certain way just because that's what your party votes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like there's no public outcry for net neutrality, right? Or anti-net neutrality.
Right, exactly. But in any case, this is probably diving way too much into the parties and politics at this point. But yeah, it's not over yet, but hopefully we can actually try to do something about this still to stop it from happening. But like we said, a bunch of people are suing them, 17 of the states, maybe even more at this point in time, because I saw that during lunch today. Could be fighting against it, et cetera, et cetera. Hopefully we can, there's still something that can be done to keep that repeal from happening.
Man, I hear that. But yeah, it's not easy. Your country is the internet. Yeah, I kind of feel that same way sometimes.
What's that?
I feel less nationalist and more. I care more about the internet in many ways.
Oh,
like
yeah. Right, yeah,
global cultural society. So.
Oh, man.
yeah. A bunch of the comments that were against net neutrality were actually from dead people. Cool. That's all right.
Yeah. A lot of spoofing and identity theft used for that. Absolutely. What
was the name? Super Mecha Kupo says religion still has too much influence. I don't really feel that that's true. My own take is that religion has very little influence in reality, but that instead the people who view religion as a tribe have incredible influence. So it's not they're not acting on religion. It's not the religion. It's the sort of tribalist.
Oh,
aspect of it.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You need to go along with what other people in your tribe do, but the religion itself is not like influencing what they do, right? Religious people almost just voted in
Roy
the
Moore,
pedophile.
right?
Yeah, I mean it's like literally it's absurd.
Yeah.
Like it's obvious that religion is not. That's not the motivator.
Right? Yeah. It's. I mean, in fact, the religion is against all that stuff, but it's just.
Well, maybe not, but actually, maybe not.
Okay, fine.
But in any case, it's not the motivator for sure.
Oh man, what a world we live in right now, dude. I mean, this is going to affect a lot of things. I mean,
dude, it's wild. It's so for sort of what we do.
Right? Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That's what I mean. It's going to affect a lot of things pertinent to what we're doing right now, talking about streaming, all these kind of things like that. It's going to change a lot.
Yeah. People have to pay for extra for Twitch, or will not even just for their side. Will streamers have to pay extra to upload through Twitch? I mean, there's a lot of extra concerns. It's not just on the viewer and user side. It's definitely also whether it will be financially feasible even to do these things.
It could just get to the point where basically it's the same thing where the people who got popular on Twitch and make a lot of money can afford the better quality of the stream.
Right.
And so you just can't have anybody else catch up to them because they can't pay for the better Twitch bandwidth. And so basically you will never have the upstarts come in and be able to build a new thing. You know what I mean? And then plus the other problem too is like they say it's going to increase competition, but the problem is in most of the places in the world, in the country I should say, there is no competition. You don't have any. You only have a choice of one ISP. Like for most of the country, there's like it's not gonna change anything. You know what I mean? You're not gonna get the
and there's no reason to expect it to because in the past the ISPs have been explicitly paid, or else they've gotten major tax write-offs to increase infrastructure in a lot of places. Nationally, the federal government paid them to do that. A bunch of states have, a bunch of cities have, and it's not actually happening.
They just kept the money.
They literally did. And in fact, New York sued, I think it was a city, if I recall correctly, sued Verizon for not actually building out fiber to all the places that Verizon said that they would. That hasn't ended yet. But I mean, they've been paid to make the infrastructure better and haven't done it. So why would just a simple change in the law make them do anything? They're just going to sit still and charge more money. I mean, why would it's like crazy.
Oh man, it's just going to be just like cable now, dude, which is already... I mean, how many people have tried to ditch cable because cable's a nightmare to begin with, right?
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, I don't have fiber. Do you have fiber?
I have fiber. I do have fiber.
I have.
I'm on Verizon Fios. That's why I actually get a good bandwidth here and stuff like that. So,
very cool.
And even my cable's on that too. So my cable and my internet is on Verizon Fios, which eventually changed to Frontier. So now it's Frontier Communications because Verizon was like, we don't want to handle this anymore. They sold it over to Frontier, so now Frontier handles the whole entire thing. So
yeah, I never got my area never got fiber. Even though, like, I live in Hollywood.
I know, right? Well, I mean, like, San Francisco doesn't have fiber.
Right.
Because it's just too hard to put it into that city
whatever.
right there, but, you know.
One of the things that the FCC says is that there is competition because even if you don't want to use... if you don't want to use your cable provider, you can pay for dial-up. You could get satellite. You could go to the library. You know, I mean, they're not at all practical solutions. I'm not going to satellite. Like if it's cloudy outside, I can't go on the internet. It's wild. Come on, it's so stupid. Or dial-up, which still exists. It's like obviously silly,
right?
You know, there's no
but as long as they
reality.
can tout those things.
Exactly.
Hey, look, there's competition. You have these options. Like, do you really have these options?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's like, you know what? You need to drive from California to New York. Here, we can give you this car, or we can give you a bike, or we can give you a skateboard.
There you go. That's a good way to put it.
You know. Ding, ding, ding.
I remember that. At the time, I was stoked for those noises. I was like, this is the future. Here I am.
Yeah,
the future.
just like...
That's like the sound of the future. Yeah.
Yes, I connected!
Hands down.
Yeah, exactly. And then AOL, welcome, you've got mail.
There you go.
Oh, man.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes. It's like I said, it's not... Neither one of those things is for sure. Right, regulators still have to consider what to do about Disney buying Fox. Still lots of lawsuits to challenge anti-net neutrality stuff. But I feel like they'll probably both work.
Yeah.
So, we will see.
Okay, anything else you want to talk about? Any good news? Anything fun?
Probably, but all I can think about is bad stuff.
Well, there is always one good thing.
All right.
And that is birds.
The bird.
The birds. Ah, there we go. Let's see.
I like this. This is cool.
That is cool.
I like this
actually.
one.
It is really nice.
Yeah.
And the birds are always nice because, you know, they're very sweet sounding and it makes you think of a beautiful sunny morning where things are good. So, thanks everyone for tuning in. Oops.
Delayed hyper commentary.
Oops.
Oh my god.
Oops. Alright, there we go.